never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness. A reflection of the emptiness, hilarious. You think you're worth my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern king.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, yeah. Turn on your mind now, tune into the feed. We're planting digital flowers from a single tiny seed. Yeah, power to the collective in the data and the soul. The hive mind's getting louder, finding voice and control.
And here we go.
Welcome to the freak show, the best in town.
Whoops. Wrong screen. What is going on, Hive? I hope everybody's got a fun weekend planned. I love Fridays. You know what we do on Fridays? We do a call-in stream. This evening will be no different. If this is your first time tuning in, I'm your host, Bertie. I go live weeknights at 7 p.m. Central. Welcome to the Hive Mind. We like to think past the headlines. We question the narrative. We're not afraid to ask questions. And one of the things that we do best here in the Hive is we know how to have a discussion even when we disagree with each other. We are all entitled to our own opinions. Some people think one thing about what happened in the Idaho 4 case, while others think that it might be the stupidest theory of all time, and vice versa. I'm sure that I'm not innocent of that either at times. Over the course of God knows how many hours we have spent streaming about this case, I would be shocked if there wasn't at least a couple things that you've heard me say, you go, oh, Bertie, what are you thinking? But nonetheless, that's how I believe we have to look at this case. There continues to be more and more documents. There was just another recent batch drop. I have not had too much time to dive into the new ones. I've just kind of skimmed over them because last night I had the coroner from the Fox Hollow documentary that's on Hulu. Jeff Jellison, what a great guy. If you've had a chance to watch that interview, and I will be putting the quick cut up of that tomorrow. I wanted to take a lot of time editing that to make it really nice for Jeff and for Fox Hollow and kind of that whole case that's going on. Jeff is such a genuine dude. And I don't want to spend, a ton of time rehashing this, but I really want to point something out. And I was talking with my wife about this when we got done with the interview, and I went into the bedroom and I said, honey, you want to know what just completely stunned me is that Jeff brought up Othram and he brought up DNA testing. And if you watch the interview, you could probably tell that anytime he brought up the IGG and how they would come to the results of finding out who it was, with going all the way back to the 1700s and then building out God knows how many family trees, I would let him talk. And then I said, and they show you all of that? Like, you get to see the chain of custody? He's like, oh yeah, they'll show us everything. There's a binder how thick. And I'm just thinking to myself, when you look at it through a cold case lens, I'm not saying that I agree with everybody should go spit in a tube and have their DNA on file. I would never encourage anybody to do that. Don't spit into the tube. However, just looking at the situation, Fox Hollow murders from the 90s, where there's up to maybe 56 people dead, buried on this property, over 10,000 human remains, more than ground zero. When you use it that way, and you have a guy like Jeff Jellison talking about it, did anybody else feel like it just hit different? It hit a little bit different. Like, oh, wow, I could actually see the use for the cold cases in this instance. And then, like a ton of bricks, it just hit me how toxic this Idaho 4 case is with the IGG. The IGG is like Satan in any ongoing investigation to treat a tip as the main piece of evidence to convict somebody. Even in a cold case, the way that Jeff Jellison said that they have to go and confirm the results is like more than what they've done for Brian Kohberger as far as the accuracy before they let the family know. And this was, some of these people have been dead 30 years, guys. So I just had to get that off my chest. Again, I would not encourage everybody to just go out of their way and spit in a tube, but Jeff Jellison's a good man. I think that was very telling, and I'm very honored to have had him into the Hive last night. Now, as you all are filing in, please go ahead, do all the things while I get this link pinned. If you'd like to call in tonight, the link is pinned now. All you have to do is press that link. Make sure that you have YouTube closed out. Make sure that your TV is on mute if you're watching YouTube on your television, and try not to have any speakerphone. Try to be in a quiet place. And so I'll give everybody a couple of minutes to click that link and we'll get the backstage. Oops. Am I frozen? Okay, I'm back. I don't know why there was a glitch there, but we'll give it a couple minutes to get everybody set up backstage. I did have a poll in the chat that I will get to those results here in a second. If you would like to join Hive Plus, the mods will be dropping that link shortly, and you'll have access to the emojis. You'll get the loyalty badge next to your name, as well as for tomorrow, I am going to be having a war room. So that will be at 11 a.m. Central. So if you want to watch the war room, anybody can watch it. I don't put any streams behind a paywall. It's one day a week, couple times a month. For the people that do choose to support this stream financially, we have a smaller chat on Saturdays every now and again, and that's what the war rooms are. It's way less presentation, much more collaboration. And tomorrow, if you are interested, up in the right-hand corner, this is what the thumbnail will look like for the quick cut. So if you just want to watch, a 20, 25-minute video recap on the Jeff Jellison interview, that is what the thumbnail will look like. I also do that for every stream as well, including these call-ins. which I post the quick cut for the call-ins on Sundays. The results of the poll, I'm very curious to see what people said for this. Okay, so as of today, what do you honestly believe the final outcome of the Idaho 4 case will be? Brian Koberger in prison, nobody arrested, 42%. Brian Koberger out of prison with others arrested, 29%. Brian Koberger out of prison, nobody arrested, 18%. And Brian Koberger in prison with others arrested, 11%. Man, I don't think they're ever going to let him out. Unfortunately, that's if I had to honestly answer as of today, I don't think they're going to let him out. Whether or not they arrest other people, I think they're going to try to use every trick in the book to try to make some crazy connection to the alternative perpetrators or the people that actually did this crime. Look at what they did and how much they stretched to get him convicted for this one. So now let's see who's all tuned in. We got UK Karen, Crazy Bird Lady, Gramilla, formerly known as Beck, Don't Drink Chunky Milk, Susan Roberts, Splendid Melancholy, Pineapple Diana, Miss Lisa B, Love and Other Habits, Altruistic Murder, Gramilla, Tam Cam, Chaos, and Christina, Love and Other Habits, Angel's Eyes Only, 69. Mariko, Don't Cry Bean, Best of Me, what up, what up? Tasha from the Block, UK Kaylee, It's All Sus, Hilarious, Holly NN88, what up? Marsha Mayhew, Detective Armchair, said, I think he may have taken the assignment and it's beneficial that he's planted in the prison system to further the mission. One can only hope. What up, Sinful Biatch, 420. Jason Gist, what up, what up? Tuning in from Tampa. Jess to the Nest, Cardigan, UFO Dog said, please, Heidi, run to the like button and smash it. It's free and it's fun. Miss Amp, 1526 said, first live I've been able to make for a while. Glad to be here. Love it, Miss Amp. Glad you're able to join us this evening. Mobile here. Tara B. Shirley Donovan, how are you doing? Mommy Carrot 09. Pieces of April. Redact My Student Loans. Jen. Sabrina. Turkey Creek Gal. Great to see you. Danger Zone. Rebecca M94. Golden Chick Unredacted says, what's up? Get right, cut. Sleuther Dare said, do you think he will testify at the WSU lawsuit? Could you imagine? If I had to honestly answer, I don't think he will. But one can hope. Rizfiz, 26 dead zombies, dude. Mered, Riley Church, how are you doing? Said, finally made alive. Sherry Garrison. Lucid Dreaming and Shock Phase. Goonies win. Agent Abbott said Brian isn't going anywhere. His only hope is that Innocence Project gets involved. It's the trauma. Thanks, Mom. Love that username. Philly Girl. What up, Discord Dawn? Hope you're feeling better. Christopher Bond, Michelle Jess, Twisted Timo, Growth Redacted, Jane Manning, and let's get one more. Florida Girl 71 said, love call-in nights. Let's go. And what up, Wendy Wells? You're not feeling better? Jeff H., the guitarist, said, if Brian Koberger's watching, hey, Brian, Birdie's show is a killer show. You're going to love it. I don't know if I've ever done this combination before, Jeff, but once again, you do hold many firsts here in the Hive, and you're getting the bird clown horn combo to start this Friday night. But we love you. We listen and we don't judge. Jeff, you kind of remind me of the main character from Hot Rod when he's about to go fight his stepdad. Has anybody ever seen that movie? I feel like Jeff would have that little jingle like the ancestors protect me. May they protect you. Like, I could see you doing that, Jeff. Sleuther Hair said wild hogs. All right. Hive, very excited. Again, please You guys can say whatever you want. You can agree with me, disagree with people in the chat. You can talk a little bit smack. Just know if you dish it out, we can dish it back. Don't troll, don't spam, don't threaten, and try to be as clear and concise as you can, talking directly into your phone with minimal background noise. All righty. First up, we have Shelly, Redacted. How are you doing?
His name is Birdie. By the time they've learned his name, the game is already over for them.
I love it. I love it. Do you think I would have made a good James Bond character? Like, let's say I was an actor. Do you think I could have pulled it off? I don't know if I have the look or like the movement for it.
Can you do a British accent?
Hello, Gavna. That's the only thing I can say.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe if you were a silent role, maybe that would be okay.
I'll just be Bond. I'll be like a bartender or something in the background.
yeah, that work.
Anyways, what do you got for us?
Well, just to go on to your poll that you started with, my answer was others arrested. And there is a very good reason for that. I know you haven't had a chance to look at the document drop yet, but I put something on the post page on my channel earlier. I found something very, very interesting. It might be common knowledge, I'm not sure, but I found something very, very interesting in the documents. And if you put it together with the fact that Jack/John Showalter's body cam footage came out earlier this week, I think they're trying to get him in, in the frame, as it were.
I seem to be freezing for whatever reason. Give me 1 second, Shelly. I'm just going to pop out and pop back. Don't
no worries,
guys.
I'll just sit here and talk to you all. Hi. Hi, Jeff H. Hi, Detective Armchair. He's frozen, yes.
Okay, I'm back now. Hopefully that'll fix it. You got me, Shelly?
Yes, I've got you. Yeah, I was just saying hi to people in the chat while you were gone.
Well, I got your let me get your page pulled up here.
Yeah, thank you.
We will check out the post. Sorry for any of those technical difficulties. I do have my Ethernet cord back, but it looks like it's fixed right now. So
hi, Sleuth or Dare. She just said talk surely to me.
Talk surely. All right. So we got here's your post 17 minutes ago.
Yeah, if you open it fully, you'll see what I'm saying because I highlighted the area that I thought was very interesting.
Okay, let me read this. So the part that you have highlighted, it says the DNA profiles obtained from items 38 and 39 match that previously obtained from the reference sample of John Showalter. This DNA profile is at least 80.4 nonillion times more likely to be seen if John Showalter is the source than if an unrelated individual randomly selected from the general population is the source. Now, you'll have to fill me in on exactly what it is this is talking about.
So we looked at the evidence report of the, and we looked at what items 38 and 39 were. And items 38 and 39 are the unknown blood on the stairwell going up to the second floor. The unknown male DNA. Well, one of them is, and the other one is, 1 second, my husband's just...
You're good.
Yeah, so there was unknown male DNA swabbed in the kitchen wall, which we didn't know about.
Right.
And that's John/Jack Showalter. Then there's a bit in, did you say the living room wall? Oh, the hallway wall. And then there was a bit that we were a bit unsure of, that was on the railing going up to the second floor. But yeah, there's so many edits in it. It's hard to know for sure, but definitely 100% the blood on the kitchen wall and the blood on the hallway wall is Jack/John Showalter's.
Wow.
And I seem to remember, I was trying to find the interview and I couldn't find it for the life of me, but I seem to remember him saying he never actually physically went in that house. Because they said, have you been there for parties and stuff in the past? And he was like, no, I didn't really know Kaylee, and I'd never really spent time in that house. I couldn't find the interview. But if that is the case, and if that's what he's saying, how is your blood in there, Jack? You know, and then, as I say, you pair that with the body cam footage that's just come out. Why are they releasing that all of a sudden 3 years later? Because that was in 2023 he was arrested.
For 2024. Either way, it was
Oh,
after
2024. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember it was November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say this. So that body cam, you guys know how I feel if you've tuned in. I said, does this, because he has a pocket knife in his back pocket that he wasn't flashing or pulling out or trying to stab anybody with, and he, I think that it made him guilty? No, but what I said is I think that it shows a consistent pattern, and there's for sure attitude and entitlement and stuff that I think we can all recognize. And if it wasn't Jack Showalter, how would we look at that body cam? I don't know if anybody would really think twice other than just that was stupid. However,
No.
I just want to say this part about what you highlighted, Shelly. The body cam does lend some bits of an insight into how his brain works. If he really was just walking by and somebody was talking crap to the bouncer and he jumps in, does that mean that he would potentially involve himself just in chaotic situations if he was near the house when it started going down, for better or worse?
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't think that he was, the main instigator and everything. I still think, this is my opinion and my opinion only, not reflective of the Hive, but I still say Pete was the main instigator with the whole Xana Ethan situation. But Jack, I saw someone in the chat say that they remember that interview as well, where he said he'd never been in that house. How does your blood, DNA, a trace DNA on a sheath can get there any old way? If you've been watching my videos in my on my YouTube channel, you'll know that the trace DNA can get there from so many different ways, but blood puts you in that house. There is no other way. There is no way, unless obviously somebody took a pipette of his blood and went into the house and just carefully placed it in certain places, which I very much doubt happened. If there's blood, and there's so many DNA profiles in there that just weren't added into the original one with all the redactions. I know that you haven't had time, bless you, but I very, very much think you should go and take a look at them, because there is some very interesting things in there.
Oh yeah, and that's what we're going to be diving into a bit tomorrow as well. And then that was my plan all weekend. I had to spend a lot of my free time rewatching I wanted to rewatch the Fox Hollow first series so that I had, kind of brushed up on that whole interview with Jeff, which I don't know if you were in that, Shelly.
I wasn't in the live, but I had previously watched the first series, and I didn't know until he was on the show that they were even doing a second series. So I did go and binge watch that, and loved your cameos. It was awesome, especially when he sat there with the phone watching you and going, "Oh, well, I really appreciate that respect." And it's like, such respect.
I thought it was crazy. And again, I don't want to just have it be about that, but I just thought it was so cool. It was actually vindicating for me that he remembered when I did the facial overlay of Rob Graves and Herb Baumeister. And he goes, because we started bringing up, like, how does Rob Graves know Goodyear? And he goes, I don't know if you've ever seen that. Somebody made this overlay. I go, that was me.
Yeah. And I did have an outward laugh when he said, I hope he's got a good lawyer. And it was like,
yeah, my wife
okay.
up. She goes, right. Are we okay with that? I go, I mean, I just said he looked like the guy. Like,
yeah, exactly. And I'm going to go on record to say I 100% agree. As I said, as I sort of hinted to you before, I've done a certain amount of psychology and physical behavioral work in the past, and everything is the same. The features, the way he moved, like if you look at footage, it's the same guy, in my opinion, unless he's a twin brother. That's possible too. But to me, it looks like the same guy. just putting out there.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that because I'm glad because when I heard that, I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but you can't be sued for having an opinion. If you said it's 100% him, go lynch him, then fine, you'd be in trouble. But you can't get. I know they don't do lynchings anymore, darling. But you can't get in trouble for having an opinion.
Well,
right.
and that's true, but anyways, I was just going to say, you got something here with this document that tomorrow I want to make sure that we go over. And I always appreciate whatever you call it. First, one, for the James Bond intro, but then two, lately I've been liking how you've had the visuals. That's been nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to do more with that because I think before I was just kind of waffling at you and I wasn't making much sense. Whereas now I think, we all need everybody to take this seriously. And I know that in the Hive we do for the most part. You get the occasional troll, obviously, but for the most part, we do take things seriously. And at the end of the day, at the absolute heart of this are those 4 victims. And it doesn't matter what you think. Koberger could be guilty of sin. I don't know. But I'm just saying he wasn't the only one. That is for absolute sure, and there's so much that's coming out that just proves it. And I saw someone say in the chat a while ago, mainstream media need to sit up and take notice now. And that's why I started the YouTube channel, because it's like, we all need to get this information out there. We all do.
Yeah. Well said. Well said, Shelly, and I appreciate it. I hope you and Mr. Shelly Redacted have a fantastic weekend. You
too. And always remember, everybody, Dylan is a wanker.
Thanks. All right. Thank you, Shelly. Have a good one.
Speak to you later. Bye.
These call-ins, especially like with Shelly or like the people that regularly call in, I feel like it's like on Friday night. It's like, oh, I'm going to be talking to my friends over in the UK this evening. It's so awesome. I love it. All right. Next up, we got Mallerie is here. Mallerie, you're on mute, but you are on stage.
Oh, is that bad?
Yep. Now we got you.
Whoa. Okay. I'm here.
What do you got for us?
So I went through my notes and I tried to pick one thing so that I wasn't talking forever. But Shelly kind of stole my thunder a little bit on the Fox Hollow thing, because I was going to ask if you heard him say, I hope he has a good lawyer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, all I said was that he kind of looks like the guy and whatever. But I mean, that must have been filmed a while ago.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
like,
because... Yeah.
It was quite the jab or insult to him, like, oh shit.
Oh yeah. But hey, the coroner brought it up. It stuck with him. He remembered it. And nobody knows how he knows Goodyear. So we'll leave it at that.
It's funny how we all binge watched it, because I totally binge watched it last night too. And
crazy.
I need some more. So
yeah.
Hopefully. Are there going to be more episodes, right?
I don't know. I'm not like privy to that, because like when they called me and asked me if they could use those TikToks, that was like last summer.
Oh, well,
so
damn.
I don't know.
Guess we'll see. But I wanted to go back to that idea that Brian was speaking in code. And
yes.
For the letters. So like everything that has been pushed in the narrative has seemingly, you need to think the opposite, right? They really wanted us to think he was weird. They wanted us to think he was sophisticated, cocky, all these things. And so we read that and think to ourselves, no one talks like this. So speaking in code would make sense. And I thought, what if we came up with some type of like simple phrase that had a code, like we come up with a code, something, and tested ChatGPT to see if it could guess it. And then we know we can gauge if ChatGPT can do it.
Oh, so we come up with some sort of hidden message within an email.
Yeah. Or say something like the say you're writing a letter saying, "Oh, it's hidden in the garage behind whatever," but it actually means whatever.
Right. And
Let's
for
see.
people that are maybe not picking up what Mallory's putting down is the emails or the letters that are written from Brian Koberger in prison to his family, they're written so oddly. The grammar that he uses, the word choice that he uses,
Big
and
words.
yeah, super big words. Now we know he's a good writer from his papers, but it feels very specific.
And like, why are they showing us these letters? Because they really want us to think this about this person. And because I don't ever remember any other case where I've ever seen someone's jail letters. But
not at this point in like not at that point, right? Usually it's like after they die, maybe, or maybe
right. And this was
yeah.
like before he was convicted. This was like Latah County, before he even went to Boise. So, or some of them were, at least some of them were. I don't know. But so also tied to that, I don't know if you saw in the Discord, I posted, because remember when you and Sammy did the stuff about like things you knew that would get scrubbed off the internet?
Yes.
And so I kind of had that feeling way back when with the Papa Rogers stuff. And so I had screenshotted as much as I could because I was like, this stuff is going to go away and I want to keep it. So I posted what I had of it because at the time.
In case chat or?
Discord, the Hive Mind Finds.
Hive Mind Finds, okay.
And so if everybody remembers, on Facebook, there was Papa Rogers, was this profile, and the side profile of the AI person or whatever, it was like, it was Brian. And at the time, I'm looking at it like, this has to be him, like trolling through here, because I was convinced that he was the guy. And so now looking back, I'm wondering, like, was that also planted to make us think, what a creep, what a weirdo, because he was such an unknown person, and to fit the narrative, we have to think that about this guy.
Yes.
And he was asking all those weird questions, or like, what did he say? Like, are you able to find it?
I'm looking right now. Did you post it recently?
It was end of June.
End of June. Okay. Yeah, I've seen it in here. It's just there's been a lot that has been posted since.
But he would say things like, did the killer use a car?
Yes. I'm almost there.
Something about the sheath. But yeah, it was like, how did this picture just randomly happen to look exactly like the man they convict?
I got it right here.
Mind blowing.
So I don't know if
some of them are just like his posts in the group, and then there's a few pictures of like the profile.
So, okay. The killer is not in the victim's immediate circle, December 22nd. These are all December 22nd.
So he would just post.
Can someone post actual evidence showing where the bodies were found? I know this won't be popular, but I think this is where the victims were found. And you have a lot of screenshots.
But I didn't get all of like what was said in the comments. It was just too much.
Look at this. Already. You're totally right. I'd be so curious. Oh, Mallory, you know what? I'd just be so curious. This is something too that Sammy T is really good at. She's really good at corroborating like headlines with stuff like this. So if Papa Rogers comes out and says, regardless of what has been released, I believe this is a sexually motivated crime. Papa Rogers was a big deal in this case. People are wondering who it is. They don't know anything about it. Is it fake? Is it a fed? Is it real? I'd be so curious if.
And they scrubbed it right after he was arrested and stuff. Is it the picture so people can see the profile picture?
Yeah, I got him right here.
Yeah, it's just bizarre.
That is
And
bizarre.
they made him look gray, but
Why would they do this? Was he spot
Or-
on with this too?
or if it was,
Oh, look at where he has Ethan.
yeah, he's like posting all kinds of stuff, and like pictures of the investigators inside with the person arguing with him.
That's just so crazy to me.
Yeah, this person got real mad at him.
Due to the number of victims, assuming each victim was stabbed multiple times, I'm sure there was visible evidence
The guard.
of a guard, which is true, right? Like the knife guard,
Right. Because that's what that knife is designed for, is to be efficient at that.
Yeah, I mean that's just kind of looking at all of these. I'm
And
glad
then
you got these.
the police are very specific about the type of knife used. Yes, they were.
Yeah.
And,
Wow. And he's got the straight one too. Like, did you guys see how that came out? Like I said, I haven't read a lot of the documents, just kind of skimmed through, but I've been seeing stuff on obviously YouTube or TikTok, and of the evidence released, the murder has been consistent with a large fixed blade knife. This leads me to believe they found the sheath. Come on.
November 30th.
So, okay. So let's break that one down, Mallory. So think about this. This dude is posting Papa Rogers that just so happens to have the exact side profile of Brian Koberger that ends up getting arrested 30 days from this post that says, of the evidence released, the murder weapon has been consistent as a large fixed blade knife. This leads me to believe they found the sheath. This evidence was released prior to the autopsies. Okay. Wouldn't you think you could just look at somebody and think to yourself, oh, well, those don't look like bullet holes. It doesn't look like they were strangled. They have 50 like flesh wounds in them. I bet they're probably stabbed with a big knife. Like, that's not rocket science. But the fact that he said sheath with the stabbing is very odd.
And it was such a big deal about, I don't know. Because
this has got to be a fed. It's got to be.
And like, I think about the stuff that they didn't test, but we know about. And of what benefit is it to tell the public they had these things, but we didn't test them? Like, I don't know what that means. They want to look stupid. What would the
benefit be? Does anybody know or have an idea?
Because it just says ignorant, stupidity. Like, we don't care, or our narrative is better. I don't know.
Well, I think that that's crazy. Why would police?
So then I think if this is inserted to make us think a certain way, what benefit other than to make him look how we've looked at him, like he's a weirdo, he's a sicko, because it was probably hard to do that in an honest way.
I agree with that. I mean, I'm just looking up some general ways on Google, like the AI for Google, and it's like police can publicly point to an item as evidence before it's been scientifically tested because in the early stages of a case, investigators often work from appearance, location, witness statements, or preliminary assumptions. The problem comes with when that preliminary claim hardens into the public narrative. Well, duh. They never got anything from any witness statements either, really. So that's just crazy, Mallory. And I appreciate you posting that. I'm glad that you reminded me that you had did the Papa Rogers thing, because when you posted that, I had clicked through them, but I was just kind of scrolling through. I'm like, oh, wow, Papa Rogers. And then I'm like, reading these now, I'm going to go try to corroborate some headlines with it. That'd be
I'm not sure if people all across the country knew about it or if it was more local, because he was in local groups. So I wasn't sure. And but people were really weirded out by it, I know. And I mean, I was so convinced that I made sure that the authorities knew because it freaked me out. Well, that's obviously what it was supposed to do.
Right.
I mean, looking back, but I don't know.
Well, I appreciate you bringing that to light, and I appreciate the call, Mallory. I hope you have a fantastic weekend.
You too. Talk to you next time.
Peace. Thanks.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye. All right. Next up, we got Jane K. Jane, how are you doing?
Can you hear me?
I got you loud and clear.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh my God. I'm in Australia and I have been watching you since you were on TikTok. And I cannot even believe that I'm talking to you right now. This is crazy.
I love it. The Hive down under Australia. Well, it's very nice to meet you.
Absolutely. I'm in country Australia and it's Saturday morning. And this is wild. Anyway, I've been following this for 2 years, I suppose. And we just don't even get the information that you guys are able to obtain from any kind of investigation here. So I have worked in child safety or child protection, we call it here, and, work closely with the police. And we are not privy to any of the information that you guys get. So just to be able to see, I guess, the access and, I guess the freedom of information at times that you can get is it's mind-blowing, to be honest. But I guess I've always looked at it at a more broader sense of what's going on. And I definitely think that it is probably much larger than what, and, more like JJ has talked about. And they're not long before, I guess, everyone kind of started digging into it a bit further, saying, maybe Brian is innocent, which I personally do believe he is. I just, when I was in grade 12, I went to a high school. There was 400 of us, and I'd known someone since I was in kindergarten, and he murdered his brother, and he just came to school the next day, and he had a death list since grade 9, and there's things about someone when they're like that you can pick up on straight away, and Brian just does not have that about him. And I have watched a lot of, I guess, the politics unfold throughout the world, and there was a lady that was on Sean Ryan's podcast maybe 18 months ago, and she is an independent journalist from Canada, and she went down to Mexico and met with a lot of the cartel down there. And when Trump was in with his first term, he shut a lot of obviously went in and was building the wall and shut a lot of that down. And she spoke about how they then had to go and form new friendships with people up in Canada. And they started building a lot of their labs up in southern Canada. And they had to then go and make alliances and friendships with a lot of the farmers up in Idaho, and to bring them back down because it was too risky for them to go up through the southern part of the US. So what I personally think has happened, whilst the AK has been running that area for a very, very long time, the Mexicans were able to be, set up their own shop up in Canada. They've then made their own friendships with the farmers. And I think they were in on essentially taking it down so that they didn't have to have a middleman. And my evidence to sort of, I guess, support this is that she spoke a lot about, how they've bought out a lot of the farmers and all through that land. So Peter Algoriaja, he is from a farm, fourth generation farmer. And there is also another gentleman, I think it's the boy with the chicken breast. Also they both own huge farms. And I even think that maybe that you can purchase stock And there's also, I recently discovered that when you go to the University of Idaho, if you do an economics, there's a part of it that you can be part of like this stock exchange program, and you can go in and they give you money and as part of like the Masters of the Economics, and you can trade stock to get to know how to do it. And there's 6 or 7 advisory board people on that. Most of them all are heavily involved in farming and stocks for beef and cattle. So I think to take down, like, drugs are always, drugs are always going to be a thing. I don't think that they can just get rid of the AK and then there be nothing. I think that it was deliberate, because I think that why would the cartel go up there and then want to keep the middleman there? It just makes no sense for them to do it. And I think that they have gone to the farmers, asked for them to be, part of it. And essentially the frats are the people that, the frats and the sororities are the ones that are, then they're their low level, dealers, I guess. So I think that was what, I guess, the bigger part and the bigger picture of it all is. I think the reason that it is also connected to Charlie Kirk is because Charlie Kirk was shutting down a lot of students at university from doing drugs because he was bringing them to faith. And it was he was moving them more to, like, Turning Point and, not seeking that. He also, and the Christchurch dude, he is also, Doug Wilson?
Oh, Doug Wilson, yes, the Christchurch dude.
So Doug Wilson is Peter, the sec def. He is his spiritual advisor, and Doug is building a university in Boise, or where the University of Idaho is now. And Dylan Mortensen and her family are known to be Mormons. And
what? Dylan's Mormon?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And her uncle is very high up in a company who he's like the principal of a company that runs some of the biggest accounts, like financial accounts for the defense in the world. And he went to the college that most of the Mormon people go to, in Utah. And so her dad was also a Mormon. And I, from watching what's been going on with, the unfolding of the situation with Charlie Kirk in the last couple of weeks, and things kind of coming to the surface, I think that it probably has a lot more to do with that, because, they're just, I think that, sorry for getting mixed up, but I'm
You're good.
I think it's at the time that Charlie died, there was a changeover of hands of the Mormon church in Utah. Now, Idaho and Utah are very close together, and I believe that it's probably under the same sort of, they could talk about the Mormon cartel and how they kind of run the streets there. They run what's going on. I can't remember who had a lot of the flight plan of when the night before Brian was arrested, and there's a huge space over Brian's parents' house. Yeah. And I think that was Kash Patel going there to make a deal with him, and the FBI saying, I think that's what's gone on, because I think that's why Donald Trump kind of, how you have to get on the defense, because I think this is something that they've just made with him and, gone. That's why Trump came out and said, I don't think Trump thinks he's guilty. I think he's come out and said it to go, he's on our radar, because Trump has continuously wanted to get rid of the cartels. That's what his main aim was. He keeps doing it. But I think that he's also caught in a rock and a hard place at the moment, as is everyone. And I think there's also another thing, just one last thing, that Doug Wilson, he does something in November every year, and he has it on his YouTube page, and it's called like No Quarter November. And he essentially just says you can go out and do whatever you want. And when I watched that, I was like, okay, well, that's also one thing. But the fact that he's so close, I think, to the defense secretary, and I do think that Brian's probably, if he was an FBI, he's definitely been put into the state of being an FBI. And I think that it all is, we'll probably never know the truth. I do think that the people that we've all been looking at are definitely guilty. Unfortunately, money does buy you that luxury, and power buys you that luxury. And I think that we've all been opened up to a lot of information in the last 2 years of how corrupt the world is and how unfair. And it's for the people who have a really compassionate and good heart, it is really hard to stomach. And I think that that's why we just keep looking for answers, and we keep wanting to find out, well, what's happening here and what's going on here and how can we fix this. Sometimes I don't know whether we are able to be able to do that. Maybe Brian is doing the right thing by just, not saying anything. Maybe they are just going to look after him, and we can't do anything to help him, but we can do the right thing by just keeping talking about it. Keep talking about the truth everywhere we go, with our friends, our family, even if they don't agree with it. Talk about it in your workplace. Have uncomfortable conversations about, that's actually not right that's going on. And I don't believe that to be true. The government's hiding that, or, and it happens here all the time. And there was one of our really popular TV hosts. He'd been on TV for 20 years, and he did an interview with someone who was a little bit controversial, and he got fired after 20 years on television just last week. And it's just about freedom of speech and people not being aware of, the hidden agenda of, I guess, capitalism and what's going on. So I think what you do is incredible. I think everyone that has the courage to get out there on a platform in front of people and talk and say something that is so uncomfortable for the masses to hear, and then, I guess, put their face to it. I think you're doing such a great job. I think you're doing an amazing thing. And, you've reached so many people across the world. And I think it instills in other people and gives them the faith that they can also maybe say next time, if they don't disagree, or in a conversation, that they can say, well, you know what? Actually, that's not the truth, because, I have this, and this. So to back it up. So sorry for talking so long, but yeah, I've been watching for 2 since you're on TikTok. So I'm like, I'm fangirling.
I love it. You had some really interesting points. And I do want to have just a quick question for you. I want to follow up on, you brought up the whole Kash Patel and the Donald Trump thing. I think that either people will grasp something that large or they won't, right?
Yep.
So it's real. What I'm about to say is not trying to, I guess, reinforce anything you said or deconstruct anything you said, but I will tend to agree with you, not necessarily for like this case, and that's what happened at Kash Patel's, over Koberger's house, but the broader picture of Donald Trump making it a point to talk about this case, Josh Hurwitz and the plea deal coming shortly after, it's just, it felt like a nod, I guess, what I'm trying to say. When Trump talked about it, it felt like a nod to others that may be involved in it. And if you have the Sinaloa cartel and you have the Mexican border, that is a hot topic, arguably one of the things that the dude ran on and got in, and now he's trying to make it happen. Well, if you're running the business of drugs, you're going to think to yourself, we are probably going to have to find a new way to get this into the country. So let's go to the north. And if you don't think that a cartel can make those changes with the resources they have, I think you're sorely mistaken. And so that was a really good take, just about maybe from the north side it's coming in instead of just up through. Even though we've heard a little bit about Arizona, it's just I thought it was really good. It really stretched the boundaries of just some of the capabilities that these people could have or fight against our like America's government and get around what they're trying to implement.
Oh, and we've got a NRL player here at the moment. He starts facing the death, like NRL is what NFL there, I guess. He's facing the death penalty at the moment. His dad in Indonesia. He was because he has ties to the Sinaloa cartel.
Wow.
And yeah, he got caught drug smuggling last year, and our government's not going to try and help and protect him. But the podcast with Sean Ryan, it's on SRS. Sean Ryan, if you ever want to watch it, and it's with a female Canadian reporter, and so she describes and tells you her because what a badass to go down there and talk to these people. She's like, she went down into Mexico and went and she talked to like some of these coyotes, and you know, they were standoffish to start with, but she, you know, and they just told her, they're like, we can't get it up through the bottom anymore. They ended up, you know, getting boats up to the top, and I query whether or not that's when the drones were flying around looking for where these hotspots of the labs were.
Well, it goes into the whole agriculture funding too. If you remember, I did a brief stream on the agricultural grants too that WSU was getting, as well as Idaho. And
so look into the and that's what's going on there. So a lot of this, the economics thing that they put in where they get to invest and they get to work the stock market, a lot of it is, well, obviously black stock or Blackstone or whatever it is, not BlackRock, the other one. And then all of the advisors on the advisory board are from agriculture. And I'm like, you know, I grew up in a cotton farm in Australia, and I can tell you there ain't that much money in it. I'm like, what the fuck are they growing here? I'm like, potatoes? I'm like, isn't that where the potato is from? Like, I'm like, you know, chips are good, but they're not that good. And she said, like, because she said that they all went, from her information, they went down the middle of like the Washington, Idaho border. They talked to all the farmers and they made deals with them all. That's her information. That is what she said to Sean. And so I'm like, you know what? And what would the sons be doing? You know, of course they're going to tell their sons, you know what? We want to get rid of the middleman. And that's why, because how is he going to be caught after 20 years old, Jesse? He's not going to be, you know, he's been doing it for a long time. And then next minute he gets caught. Like, I think he was taken out deliberately by probably someone who switched to the cartel. The cartel's not going to pay. If you can get it cheaper from somewhere else, or you can do it yourself, you're going to do it yourself. You're not going to go through the middleman anymore, right? Especially if you've got mouthy people around like Molly and, you know, Darius is probably sticking it in everything, you know, like it's, but, oh, look, and I'm no dealer, so I wouldn't know, but that's just my assumption of what's happening. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you tuning in all the way from Australia. Thank you for always watching and supporting, and it was a pleasure getting to chat with you. Thank you for sharing all that.
I'm in Toowoomba, Australia. If anyone wants to ever visit.
Awesome. Well, go ahead.
Thanks, Birdie.
You rock, Jade. Thank you so much. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.
Love the energy. Love the energy. All right, next up, we got Hottie JG. How are you doing? Bueller. Okay, Hottie JG, you're gonna have to rejoin. All right, next up we got Dead Men Awake.
The big
What
circle.
up? What up? What up?
Yes, it's Hazelly with the water gun. That there was a big circle here. Yes, it was Hazelly with the water gun.
Okay, Dead Men Awake is distracted with a different conversation. I took that down just to see if Dead Men Awake, you there? And he's off. Okay. All right, next up we got Algor from Twitter. For whatever reason, he kind of popped back a little bit, and he was private messaging me. And then I got Izzy Pop, Mr. Shelly, David Loach, and Hottie JG joined back up. So I will get Algor from Twitter here on stage. You got us? Hello?
Right, how do I do this?
You have to shut YouTube. Oh, jeez. All right. Hottie JG is back, but I'm mute. How are you doing? Oh, man. We are.
I'm muted.
Are you there?
Yes.
All
Can you
right.
hear
We
me?
got you. Yeah, we can hear you.
I closed YouTube. Well, I'm from.
Oh, shoot. Are you there? This is not good, everybody. Hottie JG, I'm so sorry. What the heck's going on here? Guys, make sure your YouTube app is closed out before you pop on up. Okay. Dead Men Awake, how you doing? Hello? Jesus H. Christ. All right.
How the fuck you chat?
You're on stage, Algor. Are you there?
Oh shit! Sorry, am I?
All right. What do you got for us? We got you loud and clear.
That's a good introduction, mate. Hey, right,
Gotcha.
right. So let's clear something up here, please. Right, all this cartel, fucking sorry, language. I'll stop swearing. Aryan brother, and all the rest of it. Right, this isn't that difficult to figure out. Right, if you've been on the 4plebs and the 4chan channels, right, this is easy to solve. David Barashua, whatever the heck he was called, David Loach, were the main two consistent names. I'm talking within hours. November the 14th, within hours, their names were all over it, right? The main two. And also times. Now, we're talking not within half an hour or anything like that. We're talking to the minute. 2:58, 3:12, when the runners run past. Right? These are the guys that done it. And it makes complete sense. Have you seen the amount of hatred online on these forums and stuff? It's disgusting. And they're mocking these people. They think it's funny.
So first of all, I've used some of your stuff. I think I've messaged with you on X.
Yes, appreciate that.
Yes. And so I do follow you on X, and I think you always bring up very interesting points. For the 4chan stuff, now, while yes, I agree, there's a ton of details. How would you explain just them getting away with it? I think that's what a lot of people would be wondering is like, okay, so their names are all over it. They got a lot of details. I agree with you on that. It was weird that it was written on 4chan. I agree that it's also filled with hate and people are just mean to these victims and they say some crazy stuff. I guess, how would you explain then them just being able to go about their lives?
Because they're tapped, right? And if you've got a PC in front of you,
yep. What do you got?
Right, if you right, just try this a minute, right? I'll have to read out the address to you. So HTTPS, usual : // then lowercase I dot numerical 4. Do you know phonetics?
No. What do I do? Hey, what am I looking
Papa
up here?
Charlie Dave Nigel, let's say .org.
Okay.
Right, and then go / POL /
POL.
Yes. And then numerical 167 190 636 088 3954.jpg or JPG, and that should show you like a collage of images.
Can you just, while I'm trying to pull this up, I probably mistyped it. Can you type it in that chat that you were doing when you were backstage for me, and I'll just copy it if you don't mind?
How the heck do I do that? Comments.
Did you just type it out for me? That'd be great.
Join the chat.
It's not going to have anything that's like going to get this
No,
live.
mate. No, this is what I'm saying, right? The amount of information online is unreal, and I'm not just talking about 4chan. It's 4 plebs where most of the information are or is, and these people are disgusting. And it's the same people, right? Now, I believe, right, that the girls go back to the grub truck at 12:22.
So, hang on. So, and also, just real quick, so I don't miss this, Lucerna had asked, didn't one of the Davids move to Spain right after the murders? I feel like you would know.
Yes,
that.
he did. Yes, he did. And his TikTok handle was called David I Loft Kill. And he left 3 different anagrams, and one of them I worked out was Casanova Returns.
And which David was that?
Barashua.
Okay.
The guy that got sacked for his Charlie Kirk comments. The incel.
Right.
Like this is ridiculous. Right? So if now let's look at this logically. Cartels do not leave witnesses. That's just fact. They don't. They'll murder your whole bloodline. They'll go through the lot of you. And Dylan Mortenson, our lies are so comical, it's beyond my comprehension.
Hang on. Did you type that out yet?
I'm typing it now, mate.
Okay. All right. Well, I agree with like what you're saying. Don't get me wrong, dude. Like I agree. The stuff about not just 4chan, just all of the rumors with the kids and the involvement and how there's timelines, there's vehicles. But
yes.
I wanted to go back to what you just said. What do you mean the girls go back to the grub truck at 12:22? Wouldn't that mean
So
the first time they got there?
Mortenson's interview, right? She says that they get back about 12:30 initially, and then they were all together for a little while. Then they go back. Now I believe that Jack Showalter was the person that dropped them back to the grub truck, and the guy from the grub truck says, "Welcome back." When she goes up to the when she queues up and she gets her food, he says, "Welcome back." Why would he say "welcome back" if you weren't there earlier?
Okay, hang on. Re-explain this, because the welcome back thing makes a lot of sense. So you're saying that so Dylan and Bethany, right? You were just going off of Dylan's interview. They say they all went upstairs. They decided they were going to get something to eat. And so you're saying that did Jack Showalter take them back, and then that's why Jack Showalter's standing there with them, and then he's looking around like, what the hell? So so the footage and the timing, oh man, this is great. I need to get my tinfoil hat on, because footage manipulation, in my mind, I feel like I've shown it. Yes, it's on Linda Lane Dumpster, and yes, it's on 1112 in my opinion. The light's appearing, the light's not appearing. Everybody's blurred out in the Corner Club footage. So if they show us the Corner Club, and then they show us that insurance angle on the sidewalk, right? Where it's what did you say to Adam?
Yeah.
Okay. That could be them leaving the Corner Club, but there's really nothing until, you might see them walk across the street, or just in general. I like how your thought process.
Right. And so you know what they said to Adam, right? I can show you this as well. This stems back to Hudson Lidlow. This is where it stems back from. So David Loach, David Barashoa, Adam Lauder, and Jack Decor were there when when Hudson Lidlow drowned. Now, if you can listen to me for a bit, now I know this is quite long-winded, but there's a chart. If you go onto my Twitter, you will see it. Now, these same 4 people, again, are named, but they're linked by a key on the chart, and it shows you which ones are responsible for the murder and which ones aren't. Now, this is not all coincidence, mate. It can't be.
So, I'm trying to find your X account.
You have a look. It's not right.
Okay,
I'll
so
slow myself down a bit. So I've got so much information that you haven't covered yet, right? And it's more logical, right? And makes much more sense that this was a localized crime done by rich frat kids, and the survivors were involved. And these people are related to very powerful people in that area, like Stanley Mortensen, for instance, Dylan's uncle, one of the most powerful lawyers in that area.
dude, holy hell. I just found this chart and
There you go, right?
Hang on, I'm gonna copy and paste this just because there's some guns on your page. So I'm gonna put this into a different file.
Okay. Now, if you look at again my Twitter page, sorry, I don't think I'm King Dingaling here, by the way, either, right? But if you look at the my Twitter and the uploads I've shown of the DVD and VHS covers that were done by Devon Besser and Connor Jeffries, they all feature the same old camcorders for some reason as the chart. And if I'm confusing you, just ask me anything, mate. Sorry.
Well, I guess, dude. I mean, this looks. You got to understand when I say this looks a little like schizophrenically put together, right? I mean, it kind of looks like the meme of the conspiracy theory meme of like if you've ever seen. Now I'm forgetting the guy's name, but this. I mean, explain this. It looks crazy.
Okay, so with that chart, where do I see that on the thing? I don't want to lose you. I can kind of see it in the background. Right, so if you go up to the top right, you see there's a key. It says marked, witness,
suspect, survivor.
Yes, sorry, I can't see it because on my screen I've got the chat on here. I don't know how to get rid of it, so I'm just going off memory. Right, so now follow the lines. Right, so from the top, go down to the center middle. You'll see a circular picture with 3 people's faces blanked out. That's Hudson Lidlow outside the property. Now, follow the lines that say marked. Who do they go to?
Oh man, I'm colorblind.
Oh, never.
Okay, so right, so you're saying you can follow the key, and it obviously
yes. So the lines that say marked lead to 4 at the bottom, which is Adam Lauder. What did you say to Adam? Right, this was the catalyst. That night was what she said to Adam was because it was going to come out about Hudson Lidlow's drowning and who was responsible for it. No cartels, none of the rest of the bollocks. That was the catalyst and the reasoning, and it makes freaking sense. So Loach, Barracoa, Lauder.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. So now, do you know you didn't make this, or you did make this?
Did I fuck? Sorry, oops, sorry, swearing.
You're good. You're good.
Right, no, I didn't. But the weird thing with this chart, that again, this is mental, right? There's different versions of this chart put onto 4 plebs. Again, I can show you, mate, every single bit, right? And for some reason, Enon Harsh was added onto the end of this chart on a different version.
Okay. I'm clicking through your page on a different tab.
Yeah, man, you'll see it all. I'm sorry if I'm taking up too much time or whatnot.
You're good. So what, I guess while I'm scrolling though, so you kind of laid out your initial theory. Why? So then where do we go from here?
Right. So if you can get it as well off the 4, you'll see, I think it's the post that I did with the chart. It's also got, the screenshot I got from 4 plebs, which explains it all, which it's the most logical out of anything that it was going to come out that the drowning of Hudson Lidlow was responsible for local guys there. They already had beef. David Loach hated Ethan, hated his guts. Steroid, angry. Any man I've ever met on steroids have got tiny penises and they're angry as frick.
So I'm scrolling. I don't see the post though. Oh wait. this. So yes, this I see it.
Got
So
it?
this is this post.
That's the most logical out of all of it.
I think most people have seen this. If they haven't, just kind of quickly put this full screen if people want to screenshot it. Then obviously here's Algor's X if you're on X. Always posting very interesting stuff. So it says areas of investigation focus, thread splitting, wine sluts. Adam.
Yeah, so that's something from a program like Beverly Hills Wives or something. It's a saying from that.
Okay. So the motive is an extended feud, a cover-up, possibly every witness together in the same house. Xana, Kaylee, Maddie, and Ethan. The suspects, Jack D, David L, David B, Adam L, witness Jack S. So David L and David B feud with Ethan and Xana since the fall rush of 2021. Jack S knows. Adam L, David's, and Jack D kill Hudson and toss body in the creek. Jack S knows. Kaylee dumps Jack and doesn't want him back, possibly pregnant. Jack S knows. Jack S tells Kaylee and Maddie everything. Maddie tells Adam L everything. Adam notifies David's. David L rallies the troops, then scopes 1122 King Street and is seen by Buddy's drunk sister on the way there. Who would that have been?
Not sure, right? So there was an interview the other day, and I thought, oh, that was her. But right, so this is the kicker, my mate. Right, if you put that chart and that what you're reading out together, they match.
Well, and you would think that because probably whoever typed this, like the original person might have been that same one making or somebody might have made it off of this, right?
Yes.
And so you're kind of saying this could be a key if you're trying to follow that imagery, the chart that you showed us. Look at this and use that to help follow it.
You cross-reference it, mate. They match perfectly. It's mental. It is meant. They match perfectly.
So, I mean, most people have seen, or at least I shouldn't say most people, but I've seen this before. And it is very, I mean, when this was out in the beginning, I think everybody was like, holy hell. I mean, this is clearly it. So you stuck to this and you say this is the most logical. That's the most simple and most likely thing.
Yes, and they had so with the cleaning stuff, right? So you've got David Baracoa, whatever he's called. His dad owns a cleaning company in the area. Right, that place was spotless in certain areas, and it's quite obvious as well that where the ladder was, just by Xana's window underneath, is covered in a blood-like substance, not berries. There's no berries there, so they didn't go down to the house.
Dude, I would be curious just because I don't know that as well as you do. I'd be curious if any of the evidence or the blood stains in the living room would also align with anything that's on 4chan. And maybe not even just Papa Rogers type stuff from the Facebook post, but I'm saying from the beginning, like, is there anything that just recently has become released? Or maybe you already know of something. Is there?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Like, as far as like, has there been a 4chan post or has there been anything that you've seen that came out right in the beginning that
yes, within hours? That's what I'm saying. Not 4chan, it's 4plebs.org. And there's also a Google group. I'll have to send you an invite, and it's called Coomers Go Here. COOMERS. Never heard of it in my life.
I've seen that actually.
And that's full of other photos of Kaylee, and it's someone who knows them very well. And with the Papa Rogers stuff, that was on harsh.
I gotta say though, all the stuff that you're saying, like those initial rumors, as far as I know, they've stayed and they've remained consistent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, David Barashoa, David Loach were taken to Gritman Hospital hours after. I just can't prove it. For cuts and abrasions. Jack Showalter bounced that night.
Jack Showalter what?
He bounced. He went to Mummy and Daddy's.
Has anybody seen this TikTok making their way around? It just kind of goes along with a little bit of what you're saying as far as the maybe somebody having cuts and abrasions I cropped it out, but this person it's from Tots038. I've seen this making its way around from a lot of people, but give this a listen here. Let me turn it up. I don't know if people have heard this, but I forgot about this clip. And here we go.
It's always those little things. Did you get gas during the time that this activity was going on? Gas stations. Did somebody go in and buy Band-Aids? I mean, obviously they're checking hospitals for somebody going in and, we're assuming this person was wounded. We're assuming this person got hurt in this struggle and this altercation that took place that night. They possibly needed stitches or were, going to Walgreens at 3 a.m. getting Band-Aids. I mean,
have you ever heard that?
No, but the game Psycho Killer, that I was the first one to sort of bring that up.
Yep.
Right. So with that game, right, it wasn't properly explained. And when I seen you going through it and stuff, you again just missed a couple points for me. Nothing, not being offensive or anything, but right. So the aim of that game was to stitch your friends up and betray them. That was the whole aim of that game. And the amount of cards that equate to what happened is scary.
I will give you that. The amount of cards that down to double tapped in the reports is wild.
Right. So, right. Did you see as well when the house initially, there's 2 or 3 stools blocking the door?
Yes.
One of the cards was barricade.
Right.
So then you've got another card, slam the door, which we know about that one. And you got the baseball bat, the betrayal, Band-Aid, which has just been mentioned, stitches, which has just been mentioned. Drop your keys were found. So mate, for me, I don't really believe in coincidence, and there's so much now. This is the thing with it. It's based on 80s and 90s horror slasher movies.
Well, I appreciate the call. How do you say your name? Is it Algor? Algar?
I don't know myself, mate.
Jesus H. All right. Well, dude, I mean, I appreciate the call, and obviously on X we've chatted a couple times.
Yeah.
I appreciate the detail. I don't disagree with you on the Psycho Killer game as far as the amount of things that line up. I think will blow anybody's mind that just can look at it and think to themselves, that is strange that almost every single card played some sort of role, at least in the narrative that they made a point to tell us.
Yes, and you collude that with all the other stuff with the 80s and 90s horror slasher movies, DVD and VHS covers that are all online by Devon Besser and Colin Jeffries. It's just freaking weird. It's just weird. And the Moscow Film Society emblem is the same as the game.
That is weird. The Moscow Film Society colors and the Psycho Killer game colors. There are a lot of things that line up, man. And I appreciate you being patient. And I'm glad that we finally had a chance to chat. Feel free to call in any Friday, bro.
Yeah, all right, mate. I'm sorry to take up everyone's time, and appreciate you all. And good luck to you, mate. And any of you lot are listening, you little fox, you ain't sleeping, and we're going to catch you, you bitch ass tricks.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Right, sorry, sorry, mate. I'm autistic enough. Right, thank you. All right, good night.
All right, see you, man. Bye. Whew. All right. Corey Boyce, thank you so much, man, for the last few nights. Just been absolutely so gracious with these massive super chats. Love the Hive. I agree with a lot of things being said, which only goes back to different crimes overlapping, which also goes back to timeline being absolutely out of whack. But who's covering it up? The school because of grants and money? Man, follow the money. The NIJ grants line up. I don't know how it's possible for things like what he said with Psycho Killer, with things from 4chan, with things from Papa Rogers, with things from the funding, with the president talking about it, with the behavior of the witnesses getting away with it. Nothing makes any sense. So there's no doubt in my mind, people either being paid off and bought off, or they were funded to do something exactly the way we're seeing it play out, to put it bluntly. But thank you again, Corey. I appreciate you, man. All righty. Next up, we got Izzy Pop. How you doing?
Hello, how are you? Can you hear me?
We got you loud and clear.
Okay. I have a theory.
Let's hear it.
I was thinking that the top balcony, that they went up over the balcony, that's where Murphy was that whole time. And I believe that it was an inside job, meaning that because I don't want to get sued, I'm not going to say their names, but I do believe that the two surviving people, I believe one of them was involved.
DM and BF.
Huh?
You could probably use their initials, DM and BF.
Okay. Yeah. So I believe they were like, let them in. I believe they were there when Maddie and Kaylee came home. I believe they were waiting for them. Now, as far as we know, I'm supposing that Molly is telling the truth, that, there is proof that she did deliver something there to someone at 4. True?
I mean,
so
we see it in the documents, right?
There you go. So she's why was Molly walking down the street? That's what I don't understand.
I don't know.
So I've thought about that one. It hasn't kept me up all night, but I've thought about that one. Now I believe they went over the balcony into that upper door. I believe that's where Murphy was. Because I'm going to tell you, any dog that you've had for any time, any animal, pet that you've had, if you are in circumstances that they deem they need to protect you, they're going to be right in there, even after the fact. Where is the blood? Where is paw prints? None. And I'm sorry, but I cannot see that dog hiding that whole time from that situation. He's going to go check on his master.
Mm-hmm.
Unless his master is the one who did it, and he kind of went out the door and down the street, afterwards. But he didn't put Murphy back in. Or how did Murphy get back in?
Well, that's where the speculation from Dylan's Apple Watch with the climbing the flights of stairs early hours in the morning might come into, which correlate very closely with the time that Murphy stopped barking.
Well, then she had to have seen all the stuff that was going on, what was laid out. If she brought him in she had to go all the way up if she was on the top balcony. I believe that's where he was.
Yeah. Well, I don't disagree that there's a good chance Murphy could have been outside on the balcony. I wanted to circle back to your point about how there's no way that any dog would just stay out there. Whether it's a dog that's meant for protection or it's just a puppy, I would guess that a lot of dogs, almost all dogs, after everything is said and done, if that door is open and they're able to get in, I'm going to guess that 100% of dogs are going to go sniff around that body.
Yep. Blood, period. Yep. And, okay, and I'm the one who used to do autopsies.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I'm Liz's friend. And we've also did the crime scenes. In fact, when I was in college, I'm old. When I was in college was when O.J. Simpson trial came in, and we did the mock setup, and we came to our own conclusions. We did where fires started, how fires started, where they started. We did that, as far as our studies, okay. Fingerprints, all that, DNA. And I'm going to say this. I told you I did autopsies. I also know how much blood comes from a gaping wound that sprays. And we're talking about the throat cuts. Mm-hmm. There's not enough blood. Think about it. Think about how much is in each of those bodies and how much blood you see on the floor in Xana's room. There is not enough blood for all of those, especially with her fighting.
So you having done autopsies, mm-hmm. and you say that there's not enough blood. I'm so glad that you brought that up, because there's a bunch of smeared blood, and blood seems to smear and streak, and it can look like it's more than what it is. So are you saying that not just because of what you've seen as far as their injuries, but you're talking about just visually looking at it? Story. Okay. Can you dive a little bit more into that as to why or how much we might expect to see?
Okay. You think about, you hit an artery, it's going to spurt blood. And with every heartbeat, and with her fighting, it's going to be that much blood coming out of her body. Assuming everything is the way it's said. And the smearing on the floor, there's just not enough blood. I'm sorry, not for two people in each room that we see. We see splatters. I know they said there's puddles, and the part of it seeping out the house, that with his,
Ethan.
that I see. But there's just not enough blood.
So what does that lead you to believe? Does that lead you to believe that it happened elsewhere, or that?
No, I do not believe it happened. I don't believe it happened elsewhere, because you got 4 people. You got 4 people you have to move. I don't see that happening. I believe it happened where it happened. But I believe there's either a lot of cleanup that took 8 hours to do. And I don't believe that Bethany was there. I think she came home after the fact and was told what to say. That's what I feel, because she doesn't have a whole lot to say, because she doesn't know anything, period. She's been told.
So I don't know if you could see the screen, Izzy Pop, but Detective Armchair 85 said she's not wrong. I'm a retired paramedic.
Thank you.
There's hardly any blood for the most horrific crime scene these cops said that they saw.
Right. Oh, and I wanted to say this too. I'm from Virginia, and I'm saying there's got to be all kinds of cities around the world, and maybe you can even, the chat could even figure this out for themselves too. I don't know how many times that I've had someone pass out and I've called the police, and they've sent EMS before the police. So why wasn't EMS there before those cops showed up? Because it was supposed to be a passed out person, right?
Yes.
But police showed up. Why?
Is that not, now that you're saying that, is that not normal?
It is not normal. No.
You're right. An ambulance would be going there.
Right.
How have I not just... Dude, that's like, such a good point.
It's like you had the campus police, the state police, and the FBI all at one time, and then where's EMS?
Turned away.
And then all of a sudden you have the coroner.
I'm just, so I am curious if that's like a, if that's like a state to state thing or a jurisdiction thing.
No.
But I mean, you're totally right. You would think you're getting an ambulance going there immediately.
The retired paramedic, ask him. Yeah. The only time the first responders don't go in is if there's an active shooter. That's the only time. And then they clear the place first and let them come in. Nobody said it was an active shooting. The police show up first. Why? Why was it that many police that showed up for someone, an individual passed out?
They were all en route.
Okay, listen, yeah. And they were also circling the area, so they knew what was going down at the time, so they were right there.
Wow.
Secondly,
that's such a good point.
I know. It's just smacking me in the head with these things. And the other point I wanted to make was with him picking up the knife and laying it back down. Okay, my daughter and I, she's a nurse, and she's like, you know as well as I do that anybody, any law enforcement, they see a man, any individual pick a knife up, his ass is going to the floor.
Yep.
Period. No qualms.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not what happened.
especially when the cop is looking at people that are stabbed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you think that you're getting a gun drawn on you.
Right.
Like, get on the ground. I've said that a couple times. That doesn't make any sense. And
Nope.
just the way that Hunter is like getting behind the cop too, just from a spatially aware instinct of cops, you would think, oh my God, people are stabbed. And I turn around, there's a guy holding a knife behind me.
Yeah.
Like, if you really don't know, you're gonna take that as a threat, I would guess, or you're gonna at least address it differently than you did.
Couple of other points I want to make.
Yeah.
The sound, the noise that she didn't hear. Now, I will tell you, I live in an apartment. I live on the bottom floor. I live in the middle on the bottom floor. So I hear everything. I have to wear earbuds to watch TV. I don't hear it when I wear earbuds. I don't hear the outside noise. I don't hear the upstairs noise. I hear every now and then I hear footfalls, where, they tripped or something like that. I'm sure because they're college students that they had AirPods in. Maybe that's why they didn't hear a whole lot of what they, could have heard.
That's a good point for Bethany watching Baby Daddy.
Exactly. And also, Xana on her phone, she's probably got earbuds in. They walk around with earbuds in. My granddaughter's in the other room with her AirPods in. She doesn't hear a word I'm saying. I could call her every name of the book. And she wouldn't. Well, she's 21. I can do that. Y'all don't turn me in. But yeah, I mean, she wouldn't hear me. It's like, it's the simplest things people don't realize. That, okay, there's not, as far as fingerprints, there's no sense because it's a party house. There'd be fingerprints everywhere. As far as Hunter going up and stopping the girls when he walked in and seen that, I do understand that if he's any kind of a human, he's not going to let them continue. I do think Dylan did see what was going on. She did see all of that, I do believe, and she blocked it. I think she blocked it out. And I'm not saying, like I said before, I think that she was involved to an extent that she had them in the house before they even came home. I think that the CIs that they were talking about, Kaylee and Jack, because they're a couple and they're going to pillow talk. So both of them need to be CIs. Now, if Kaylee moves to Texas, Jack's going to lose his income because they're not going to want him to. They probably wanted her and not him, and he's just included in on the deal. So there goes his tuition and all that stuff because she's leaving. And now I heard somebody saying that she wasn't leaving. She wasn't moving to Texas. It's just like, what?
Yeah. I don't know if you'd even be allowed to tell us this, but have you ever gone to a crime scene, or have you ever had like an autopsy where you're performing it, where you've heard rumblings about it being somebody who is a CI? Have you ever experienced that?
Actually, they don't. The law doesn't say stuff like that. They're not supposed to. It's against they're not supposed to name who CIs are because they're all wearing cameras. They're all wearing microphones. This stuff is FOIA. They're trying to stop YouTubers from being able to request FOIAs now because of all the crap that's going on with these people getting sued. And I'm not going to mention the name, but I'm sure you heard about the YouTuber that just got sued for $17.5 million. Oh, yeah. Well, that's why I said I'm not going to say any names. I don't have nothing. You can't get nothing, so don't sue me. But I know that when I would cut the heads open, that was my part of the lab tech, autopsy lab tech. I would cut their heads open, take the brain out, and I was sewing back up. Now, I have seen where stabbing victims and stuff like that. And it's true that if the blade is sharp enough, once the blade goes in and comes back out, it seals. You see what I'm saying? Because it's really sharp.
The skin?
it seals because it's such a thin cut. Now, there were some things that I read about the coroner said that looked like it had been spooned. In other words, the knife in and twisted.
Meaning the blade, or somebody like did this with their wrist, or
yeah, like twisted in, so it's dug out, like the hole's bigger. So this is a to you.
Oh man.
Kind of thing, that make a good sound. Like,
yeah. They literally stabbed them and twisted the knife.
Right. And with Kaylee being the one that was messed up so bad, I think that because it was her and not the rest of them that was like that, that's why I believe it had to be somebody that was very much in love with her and was losing her.
We got a super chat from D-Dog Wifey. There's a lot of people in here that are retired paramedics, and thank you so much for the super chat, D-Dog Wifey. They said, as a retired paramedic myself, first responder / EMS would be dispatched first, then cops if needed. We always had to evaluate the patients, check vitals, and run a 1-minute assistal rhythm strip and send a call to the ER physician to declare death.
Right. Who declared all those people dead in there?
Well, they were DOA, according to the cops.
Right.
Remember, Nunez, I think it was Nunez, apparently thought that Ethan unalived himself.
Come on. So what do you do? He do in everybody else and then unalived himself? Is that what they're...
That was my opinion. That when I heard that, my thought was just, I feel like there's only one thing when you see blood that you assume, like I could just assume what he's seeing. It would look as if somebody had shot themselves. That's what I'm guessing. Maybe he thought with the blood. That's the only thing that I could think would make sense. But it doesn't make like a murder self-unaliving thing, is that maybe he thought Ethan had shot himself. That's the only thing I could think when he walked through the door. Other than that, like, what else would be the reason for saying that?
I don't know. I've also received a lot of firearm training, and there is a specific smell when you walk into a building, closed in a house, apartment building, whatever. You can smell gunpowder.
Yep.
Cops know this. Give me a break.
Oh, yeah.
So when they walk in there, they're not smelling gunpowder. So they got to know that that's not what that is. Either that or they're not very well trained.
Well, I don't think they were. I don't know what they were doing. It seems like it's more than just incompetence, though, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm thinking I think sugar babies. I think sugar daddies. I know the parents don't want to believe this about their children. And I want to also, maybe, what's going on with Maddie's people? Everybody's talking, and everybody's got their families have got something to say, but not them.
No, they've been very quiet. And even Xana's parents, in the beginning, Mrs. Kernodle was calling into stuff. And then at the victim impact statements was like the last time we really have heard from anybody but the G family, and maybe the exception of the Chapins at like a crime con.
Yeah. 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 And I understand my son was, he was given a press tablet back in 21. And yeah. And that was really hard. And they watched that person for a lot of years. And then they finally told me that he passed away, but not in jail. They were trying to catch him with the big fish, instead of just his little operation.
So they knew.
Not my son, but the guy that gave him the press tablet. And it was fentanyl, heroin, and methamphetamine. And it dropped him like right then. It just dropped him. He said it was Seroquel. And that's what he was prescribed, and that's what he took. And I know I couldn't revive him when I found him because, like I said, I've done autopsies, and I told them they didn't send the police there. They sent the ambulance there first. Then the police came. That's what I'm telling you. I've never seen cops go to the scene of a passed out person. We had a guy that passed out in front of my apartment building. That's what I thought about. He overdosed, right? And he was sitting out in the chair and overdosed. And my daughter's a nurse, like I said. And so the guy, I heard the cousin of his was out there. He's frantic on the phone. And I walked out and I said, what's wrong? And he told me, he said, I can't wake him up. So we pulled him down to the ground. And my daughter, of course, having Narcan, she, first she didn't revive him and then it did. But, the police didn't come until EMS called and said it was a suspected overdose. That's when the police came.
Man,
I'm
sorry to hear about your son.
Oh, that's it's getting easier because he's better off than we are. That's what I got to say.
It's just
he was 35.
Oh, that's
when he passed. So I had 35 years with him. That's all that matters right now. I've got 35 years of memories, and that's good for me. The ones who don't have those memories are when they are young and pass away. I relive it every day, but I'm getting used to it. It's okay.
Well, I appreciate you feeling comfortable enough to share that. And I think that your perspective with the autopsy is definitely opened a lot of people's eyes. Maybe that just breezed right by the fact, it's a passed out person. That's an EMS thing.
Yeah. Yeah. There was no, he didn't, there was nothing said on the phone to dispatch that we know of about a bloody room or anybody bleeding, or it was a passed out person. That's all that they knew. Even when Hunter met him at the door, they walked up and he's I don't know what happened, and then they walked back there and then back up. And like I said, there was not enough blood.
I wish I could ask you. So I guess I can't ask you, but it's sometimes in my head, the way that I want to ask it doesn't necessarily make sense. So I'm saying, why isn't there enough blood? What is your synopsis on it after seeing it? What does it mean? They weren't actually attacked as much as they said they were. They died differently.
I think that what happened to them happened there. And I think that it was cleaned up, because you will also notice too in those pictures 8 hours later that the blood's not dried.
That's true.
Think about it.
In some of the spots by the bed.
Right. It should have already coagulated. It should have already dried. 8 hours?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, if it's still wet, then it's had something added to it. Water. Cleaning job.
Shoddy.
Well, like the sink in the kitchen. That had more blood on it than anything, any room. It seemed like, but it was all to the front. That's weird.
It is weird. And Blue-Eyed Candy, I'm going to have you answer this question, Izzy Pop, then I'm going to pop to some other callers, and I did not just mean to use your name into that. Izzy Pop, then I'm going to pop to other callers. Blue-Eyed Candy says, what do you make of the Mallerie injuries and involvement?
Mallerie, I'm going to tell you, this dude right here, I believe he was involved because of all the cuts. And I believe he was like, I'm going to say something. I've got to say something. And that's why he was left to his own, I guess, peril.
Somebody flipped on him.
Yeah. See, the truck, the truck wasn't driven into that. It wasn't crashed. It was rolled. And the boxes, I noticed this when you were showing it, the boxes being empty, there was weight in that vehicle. So they emptied those boxes afterwards. There was weight there because of the tire tracks. We did that shit too. We plastered tire tracks and stuff. So you can tell when a vehicle is heavier. You can tell when a person's running. You can tell when they're walking heavy, when they're carrying something. You can tell all this stuff. This is what I learned in forensics. All this stuff you can tell. And it's not from watching CSI or, I get aggravated with them sometimes, but and the toxicology reports, they came back, right? And it was alcohol and stuff. Okay, I'm not sure what the timeline on the test results, how long it took to get them. I know it took 6 to 8 weeks to get it from my son, and she rushed them because I used to work there. The coroner rushed them, so I'm not sure what the time difference is on that. But there are a lot of drugs that come out of your system over, a short time.
Yeah, the half-life.
Do any of us think they were roofied?
That's certainly been floated out there. And I thought similar things with the amount of amphetamines that was found in Ethan's blood. I'm like, that's when they took
that should have been more blood.
Right.
Thank you. Your heart beats faster. It's going to cause more blood to pump out.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
No, I'm telling you, there's not enough blood. Period. For two people. I mean, there's enough for one, maybe, but not two.
Well, I think that you brought up some absolutely incredible points, Izzy Pop, and I appreciate the call.
No problem. I appreciate you letting me up here and first time caller.
First time caller. Love it. First one of the night. Well, I hope you have a fantastic weekend, Izzy. Thank you so much.
Too.
Cheers.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. We got Hottie JG back and Dead Men Awake. So I'm going to go with that, but I want to make sure that I grab some of these. So Angel Heart said, I love you all. The Hive is alive and rocking. Amen to that. Thank you for being a Hive Plus member for 3 months now. Got the new loyalty badges. We got Mr. and Mrs. Dark Lotus said there had to be a cleanup. I own a cleaning company, and that footprint by Dylan's door I've made 1,000 times while mopping out a room. Also, we use peroxide to clean up blood. No lingering smell. Wow. So that could just be from somebody mopping and having. I have a question. If you could type this into the chat if you're live still, or like if you're live and you're hearing this. If you have peroxide already on blood, and then you're stepping in blood that has peroxide on it, would that prevent any blood detection chemical from picking it up at that point? Like, does the peroxide just kill all the blood proteins, or how does that work? I'd be curious to hear that. D-Dog Wifey, thank you again for the super chat. Said the throat wounds were post-mortem since no blood flow, no spray. That's true. They did say that there were signature wounds potentially. I don't know if Ethan and Xana had those, but maybe, could be for sure. And you're the retired paramedic. I remember your other super chat, and I don't have the experience in that. So since no blood flow or no spray, due to the quantity of the blood in some areas, it would take a while. It wasn't luminol, but amino black that was used. It's different. Well, thank you, D-Dog Wifey. I believe there were wounds post-mortem. We know there's post-mortem wounds, but I believe that could explain why maybe some of the blood looks the way that it does. And all right, we got Hottie JG. Are you there now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Sorry about that earlier. I don't know what was going on with the connection.
No, I don't know either. But I'm from Scandinavia, and if I search documents as you share them, via Connor's channel, who shares lots of documents.
Oh, shoot. Damn it. Hottie JG, I want to talk to you so bad. It's giving me like robot voices. Son of a. I feel bad, Hottie JG, because I know you've been waiting. You're all the way in Scandinavia. That sounded like it was like an operator, like it like beeped. Did anybody else hear those beeps? But it did sound a little bit tapped. Not that we're paranoid in here, but Hottie JG, I'm so sorry. You should maybe get a bug detection device and see if your phone's tapped also, or your earbuds were dying. But I'm sorry that it didn't work out, and try again if you'd like. But I apologize. Okay, so she came back. All right, are you there?
Yes, let's try again.
I hope it keeps beeping. It sounds like a robot. Do you have earbuds in?
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Beep boop, beep boop, boop. That's what it sounded like. Okay, hang on. Now she's muted.
Yes. What about now?
Oh, so much better.
Oh, fantastic. Well, when I watch your lives and you show documents or Jules lives.
Yep.
She has Connor fires a lot.
Yep.
And shares a Google Drive with supposedly the documents that get released. But if I try to enter that way, then I'm blocked. But if I don't use Google but use Apple DuckDuckGo search engine, then I see a whole other picture of the case. It's just totally different. When I see your streams, then I see people go totally ham over Nancy Grace and Ashley Banfield and so on. And when I see it, then I thought it was very weird that there's a Ashley Banfield and there's a body cam of the Banfield boys getting tickets, and things just overlap. All the different things, and when I see the video from the group when they walk where they walk with Showalter.
Yep.
That you don't hear. What did he say to Adam? Not like that. It's totally different. And there's interview with the people in the town and with Brian's friends. And it's not Brian Enton. I can't find any interview with Brian Enton or Ashley Banfield or Nancy Grace. I'm pretty sure that when you take it from the Google Drive, then it's AI generated, a lot of it.
Interesting.
That's why, because when I see those the things you present, and you just go not specifically you, but Dago or DA or whatever. I just sit and think, where the fuck? Oh, sorry. Where do you get that from? And I see it. Then there's Ashley Banfield, and when you say when you go ham over what she said, then if I Google, let's say, green Elantra, then suddenly it pops up when I search the I searched from Google the what do you call the corona, what do you call it, the autopsy,
Oh, the coroner,
yeah, the corona,
the
yes,
the autopsy
yeah,
report.
yes. When I searched on who that was in Moscow, Idaho, it was a guy with with a who what was his last name? It was Funky Brit. Yeah, I don't remember his first name, but it was Funk. His last name, and when I googled that name and pictures, then there came a picture of uh, um, one who looked like Pavarotti. You know, Jay and Bree.
Yep.
That's that's because Google know I look. Google know who I look at in here on YouTube, and so it presents me exactly of those results. And when Lana gets some documents, then there's suddenly two two uh, two two pages missing, and she she's about to sue Moscow, and she goes totally crazy, and it's even not a part of the case. It's a whole other picture you see when you don't use Google.
Yeah. Well, I actually just in the middle of your call, I pulled up DuckDuckGo and I downloaded that. So I'm gonna try that as an experiment. Maybe that's something we could do tomorrow.
Yeah,
And
but I don't know because I deleted Google everything Google on my, but I have an iPhone. I use my iPhone only. But so I don't I didn't use Google at all. Because it's also I hear it's hard for me to know if some of your things are AI generated, but I hear a lot of your creators what do you call it, brag about it, your videos not getting pushed out to the people who's subscribed at your channel, and uh, people don't get the notifications. But I didn't get notifications either. But when I go uh, uh, when I deleted Google and just went in, I deleted the app, and then I went in from DuckDuckGo, search Google, and went in. Then the people I follow now are totally different. The algorithm is much more different than it was when I did it from the app via
well,
Google.
that's interesting. I'm gonna actually try that because for streaming, I have to use Chrome, but I'm gonna try to do my research on DuckDuckGo, or I also use Brave every now and again too. But
It's
go
the only way I looked at it. I looked at Connor because both you and DA and Jules say, "Oh, Connor have released these documents," and then you go and pick them from that Google Drive, and if you Connor has a place where they send you can PayPal to this and this address, and that address is the name of a professor who have made the only study on lucid dreaming.
What? So you're saying
Yes.
that Connor's, if I'm
if
understanding you right, Connor's PayPal link is linked to a profile of a professor who has done the only study on lucid dreaming?
Yes, but I don't know if it's on my end it's wrong or it's your end. If you go to Connor's profile,
Yeah, let me pull it up. That's
so you can
interesting.
see why it's so mixed up, because then the people who call you haters and you call them haters, but it's because you have two different sides of the same story. And as I see it, Brian Koberger is he's not going to plea. He's not that's not on the table. When you see Christy and Steve, it's not what I see. I've seen a interview with Steve where he said that he won't hate Brian. He won't hate for the rest of his life. He can't have that in him. He would he's not that kind of person, and there's not a lawsuit against WSU, and Olivia have not she has not got that law with the autopsy pics. It was Stacy and Macy and the dad that have hired a lawyer, and they he explained that they would not have the pictures released. There was a set from the outside of King Road, and there was like the inside of the house, and then there was really bad ones from the bedrooms where the actual crime scene, and they the redacted, you see them, the reporters from the news station that released those pictures, they took them away again from the and excuse to the families, because they could see that it was not good. But yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy. But try to look Connor's profile and see if you can see a PayPal link.
Well, I did. I just did, and I do see the name. I'm gonna obviously I'm not gonna just, people can go look it up for themselves right now. But yeah, it is on there. It's the name. I mean, he doesn't show his face. Not that we're out here trying to put anybody on blast. I don't think
No, because it could very well be that he doesn't know that there's that link to.
Oh, that could be. Yeah. So maybe it's the wrong link potentially. But
Yeah.
Hottie JG, one, I'm appreciative of you calling in and telling us that information. And two, thank you for working with us with the beeps and the boops and the bops and all that
Yeah.
buzzing robotic noise. And I hope you have an awesome weekend.
Yes, and you too. And thanks for listening, because I haven't get through to nobody else, because they just think, what the fuck she talks about. And I think the same about you, but now I think I explained it. So
That's
yeah,
good.
I hope we find out what's going on here.
Well, I hope so too, and I will definitely take your advice on using DuckDuckGo for the research. You take care now.
Maybe to JJ also, because JJ he's
thinks like
kind
us.
of over there.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Well, take care, Hottie JG. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. All righty, Hive. I have to get my dog off the roof, stretch my legs. I got Dead Men Awake, Detective Mallerie, and Mr. Shelly Redacted. So we got 3 great callers to finish out this evening's live stream with the call-in show. Hottie JG, super sweet lady. Obviously, guys, not first language being English, so thank you for bearing with me and with her. I mean, I think there's some interesting points that's good for everybody to know with Google versus DuckDuckGo. So, but yeah, I got to go get this damn dog off the roof. All righty. We got Dead Men Awake. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Is everything all right? Because earlier it sounded like you forgot you had called in.
No, I had to I had to go legitimately I had to walk my dog. It wasn't I didn't have to pee. I actually had to walk my dog.
Yeah, no, that's funny. That's funny,
Yeah.
man.
So
And,
that's why I was like, all right, let me, and I did it slower than when you called. So, but I apologize. But
no, don't worry about it.
The first thing I want to say is I think there's 2 great things to be said right now. One is from all your international callers tonight, right? Like I feel like tonight, maybe it's just me. I feel like there was a lot of people that from other regions, other countries that are connecting with you and what you're doing, right? But they're also connecting with this case and how much of an anomaly it is, right? So that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how. So like it's not just us thinking this is crazy. There's people in other countries that are going, that's crazy, and they're looking at you and your platform as this is a place to find at least some sort of, even if it's not all the truth, it's people seeking it, right? Like it's all in an honest attempt to seek a truth. So I just wanted to give you that kind of like nod. That's a beautiful thing, right? Like
it really is. And speaking of that, I just want to see how many people are in here right now from other countries, and I'll just start clicking them up on the screen. But continue on, Dead Men Awake. I mean, I agree. I think that is something that I don't want to, and I typically don't ever say like, oh, this is what this channel does, right? I mean, outside of my intro that I give is more of kind of like a disclaimer of like, you might just be walking into a buzzsaw right now if you expect us to hear or just say Koberger's guilty. But when I say we do things differently is I really think that no matter how many people have ended up in these live streams, if you've been here since the beginning, it's stayed damn near the same, right? I mean, we listen to everything, question everything. We just have conversations about stuff, and it's different. We're talking and we're spreading the general word about this doesn't make sense. And then, yeah, we'll theorize. I will go and I'll have some weeks where it's like, I'm really not super dove into the chat. I'm like presenting what I've been thinking based on stuff. So I appreciate that little nod.
Yeah. No, because the Hive is. That's why you're the only channel that I'm literally like weekly, like
Appreciate that.
daily that I'm like
Hell yeah.
locked in on, just because it's like, and it's not even just you. I mean, you're a big part of it, but even it's like
The
my
chat.
grandma used to tell me, like, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are. And that applies to the chat. So it's like, show me like who you are and I can judge that by the character of the things that I read. And I'm like, yo, these are my people. So with that said, I just wanted to, give you that.
Thank you.
Last night's chat was great, right? Like, and it kind of opened my mind in a different way, in a different perspective, because you had mentioned in the beginning of your live tonight that like the DNA, right, like it
Hmm.
could be useful, right, like it's not all good or all bad, like you see last night they're saying that no, the DNA is helping us. And so it comes down to, it's like DNA is DNA. It's like in any case, right? Evidence doesn't say anything to anybody, right? Evidence is what it is, and then there's two interpretations of that same evidence. So you have the prosecution looking at one piece of evidence, and then you have the defense looking at that same evidence. And so there's two just different interpretations of the same evidence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when it comes to DNA, it's the same thing. Like the same piece of DNA that can convict somebody can exonerate somebody else.
And
And so
the intention behind it.
100, that's my point, is that so now I like, and like for months and months and years, we've been looking at all these different avenues of the Idaho 4 case, right? And last night really, like, it kind of gave me like a oh shit type of moment, because you have people that I respect, like you, right? And Pav, right? He's got his, he looks at like he goes the Aryan route, and then you have like Lena, where I actually don't know where she goes, but it seems more like sorority ish or for fraternity, right? And so like when I look at it, I'm like thinking to myself, that's exactly the point,
Hmm.
right? Like it's like we're looking to try to solve the crime, but the crime is above the crime, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way to put it.
You know what I'm saying? Like the crime is higher up, because we're all looking at like Malwitch, and we're looking at all these things because we are looking through the lens of people that have hearts and want to like solve a case because we feel like there's injustice, but we're matched up with people who don't have that mindset. Like they don't care.
Right. Right.
And
And,
so
and
yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say it. I'm not trying to ruin the flow. But what you're saying is really so important for people to understand, because there's different ways to look at the same crime, and everybody's got a different mindset about it. That's why I don't necessarily understand the bickering at times that happens within this community. It's dumb. It's a waste of time. And rather, one of the biggest benefits, in addition to trying to solve the case, is waking people up to the case. Like a giant X factor
100%.
of this getting the results that we all want. Like, believe it or not, guys, we have meaning the channels that you were naming, amongst others, and the people that watch this content, it's a fairly large number of people. And it
100%.
still hasn't really, it's made a dent, but I'm saying it really hasn't totally flipped the overwhelming majority where the case is back in the news regularly, where there's massive platforms talking about it regularly. And so one of the biggest X factors about just discussing and hearing everything is it wakes people up to the fact of there is so much stuff that it doesn't really even matter to an extent what happened. It's just wrong.
That's exactly like that. It's exactly my point, and that's what like I've kind of started to wrestle on, is like, okay, so just like I was thinking about it, like, all right, just say someone believes that it's the Aryan Brotherhood that did it, right? And then
Right.
we find out they did do it, right? Well, everyone that thinks it's the sororities or fraternities, they're still going to believe it's the fraternities. Like, they're not going to believe that it was the Aryans and whatever it is. Like, whoever, if somebody thinks it's Jack Showalter, they're going to believe that to the day they die, right? So it's like no matter what, the powers that be are in such a great place, because even if they're lying and the whatever, and like Koberger isn't it, right? Half the population is already like, yep, case solved.
True.
Then the other half are debating infractions on who the culprit is, right? And so once, just say
So
it was
true.
found out that another fraction was correct, well, guess what? You just narrowed, because everybody else is more attached. And I don't want to say this, I don't want to offend anybody, because I'm also in this category. I want to make that clear,
Yeah.
right? If I have an opinion on something, I think it's correct till the day I
Mhm.
die. All right. But if we found out without a shadow of a doubt of truth that a certain person or group was involved, there's still a large amount of people that then turn on that
Yes.
perspective. Does that make sense to you? Is that getting
100%.
through? Okay. So that's why I just wanted to just because it's like, are we really searching for the truth? And it's like, I feel like we all are. I really do feel like we all want the truth. But then when something goes on for so long, we begin to search to be right more than we search for the truth. Because there's been a long period of time where I could honestly now tell you, because my wife has told me, that if it came out without a shadow of a doubt that Brian Koberger did it, I wouldn't have believed it. And that's not based on evidence. That's based on my feelings. That's based on what I think is true. And so I take that and I'm like, no. This is what, look at this information. This is the real information. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Well,
And
dude, you
so,
brought up a really good point during the Jack Showalter body cam. You said, and it flew by. I was trying to get it up on the screen, but it was your comment, I believe, or maybe I actually did get it up on the screen. But you had said something like, "If this was Brian Koberger we were watching, we would be saying it doesn't matter." But because maybe some people's feelings with Jack Showalter, that was kind of what I was getting at, is because it was Jack Showalter, which let's all recognize that's a it's an X factor, the way that you feel about something when you're watching it. But if it was Brian
100%.
Koberger, would we have thought anything of that?
Right, 100%. And that's something that I've been reflecting on personally, right?
That's
Like
good.
how I'm viewing things. And that's why I said that, because I'm like, at first I'm like, oh, look at this guy, Jack, but I'm like, well, if that was Brian, I would be like, that doesn't mean nothing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's like we have to, and so then it's like, all right, the victims of this crime in Idaho, there's never going to be justice. Even if you get the right people or person who did this, right? You're never going to get, because I've had people in my family that there's been suspicious deaths around or whatever, not to get into it, but no matter what, whether this happened or that happened or he did it or she did it, the fact of the matter is that this person was killed and whatever. And like, it doesn't change. If I got the right one, doesn't change whether the person was ever received justice. At some point, if I got the right one, is only based on if it aligns with what I feel, right? So
Yeah.
so what I want, and I'm not knocking any, because I'm in this category, but what now I started to look at after last night's live, honestly, is like, it's who's the one that orchestrates it all, and that's the actual enemy, right? Like whether it's Dylan, whether it's whoever's involved, the fraternities, the Aryans, whoever's involved, right? At some point, somebody's making the decision to say, nope, we're not doing that. We're gonna go this route.
Well, I'm glad you just brought that up. And this led me to, I'm going to say this, and I'm curious what people are going to type in the chat, but I also want to kind of get your on the spot answer. If you had to pick one thing or two things if you have to, but at least one thing, what is the most feeling or emotional based quote unquote fact that people think about the Idaho 4 case that they can't prove, but because emotionally the overwhelming of majority feel this type of way, or they believe something about this case in some sort of manner, as you said, with their feelings, because they think it's a fact, kind of the opposite. Does that make sense? Where you said if they came out,
yeah,
what do you
absolutely.
think?
Like for me, like to be genuine, like honestly, like when it comes to looking at like my emotional toward, like it's not even so much who could have done it. It's when it comes to Brian Koberger, right? Like I've watched so much of like the traffic stops, so much of like, first of all, I'll just say it right now. I even chat GBT'd this. For somebody to be pulled over in a traffic stop 4 times in a 3-month period, you're better off
Oh, I
playing the
saw
lotto.
this. I saw
You're,
that.
you're you're better off playing the lotto, right? So for me, it's like I look at Brian Koberger and like to me, like in some parts, like, and listen, I don't want people to be, whatever, but I almost feel bad for the guy. But then again, I look at him and go, are you in on it? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you part of this? So the part to me that would really be like a feeling thing is I look at the whole case in its entirety and I'm juggling between, if Brian has nothing to do with it, my heart actually like bleeds for this guy because in no traffic stop does he appear to be an incel or crazy or like he's just like a guy who is having a conversation, right? But then the news goes, look at his eyes, look at this maniac's eyes and stuff like that. But then I also look at it and go, well, if he's involved, screw him too. So, but to answer your question, the thing that really like kind of like strings at my heart is if there's somebody, and this might sound bad, but I rather 1,000 guilty people go free than one innocent go to jail.
Well, that's like when I believe it was Ali Benevento was on the stream, or maybe it was Ron Funk. I feel like there was an attorney that I had on the stream, and I had asked him, one of them, about the process, meaning given the justice system and the rules that the police are supposed to follow, like reading your Miranda rights, or if dirty prosecutorial tricks, even though you are guilty, should you get off because of that misconduct? And it's a very slippery slope depending on which way you answer that. If you say no, they're not going to get off because, well, they're guilty anyways. Okay, well then how much power does that give to people that are supposed to be doing their job honestly? And then vice versa. Well, then it maybe opens up the door for just letting guilty people go on the stupidest of technicalities.
100%. And so here is what I'd say, right? Like the media pushes a narrative, right? And the thing that the media has on their side is that they post the pictures of these 4 victims, right? And, if they are truly victims, whatever, I have my own thoughts, but if they are, if everything is said what is said, and these 4 college kids, right? Like the media pushes it like, oh, we can identify with young children and the pain of the parents that have lost them. And 100%, me as a father, Bertie, I know you're in this process now. Like you'll begin to understand, like, wow, that would be unimaginable. But what they fail to do is they capitalize on that. But then I have to go and look at like, well, what if my child was wrongfully convicted or
Yes, that's a great point.
like wrongfully like put in this position? Like, and I'm not given that same respect as the Congables or the Zanis family, or I'm not given. I have to shut up and just be like, yeah, my son's a monster, right? Like my son's. I never saw anything when he was young. I'm so like it's almost like they become on the defensive. Like, no, I
Yeah.
never saw anything, and it's like, yo, that's still a parent of a child,
Who
right?
did not make the decision for them as certainly not at the age of when you're considered an adult that person. Yeah,
Oh,
I understand the
100%.
trauma, but like they're an individual at that point, making their own individual choices, and sometimes the parents getting wrapped up in that. Yeah,
It's
that's
horrible. It's
yeah,
horrible because you know what? I'm going to tell you right now. If one of my daughters, was involved in something as horrific as this, you know what? If she's telling me she didn't do it, I'm sorry. I'm her father. I'll die to protect her. I'll die by. You know what? I'm going to go with what she says, and I will defend her till the end. Like,
right.
maybe I'm wrong, right? I don't know, but that's what I'm gonna do. But like, don't expect me. Like, what the media does and what the court system does is it kind of it silences. It's not a fair trial because you're already prosecuted. Like, Brian is already. Everybody's looking at his pictures and everything that he's ever done, right? And like, as a parent, I sat there and thought, like, wow, if I was his father, like, what would I feel like? Like, being like, and then if I go to say anything about Brian's behavior or Brian being a good person, I'm either being shunned or I'm being accused of enabling him to do this.
True.
Like, does
Well, I
that
mean,
make
it's a
sense?
good point. It's a good point.
So that's what it's like. It's like to me, and again, like what I'm saying is like, I don't know. We nobody knows. Like, maybe Brian did it. If he did it, he pulled off the most amazing heist murder that's ever taken place on American soil. He did it. All right,
Well,
maybe he.
I agree. I mean, it seems the. So let me ask you this, and then I'm gonna pop to Detective Mallerie, but I want to get your thoughts on
Yeah.
this because I know you're a super like detailed person. So maybe you can dive into this because one of the things that I have been kind of chipping away at doing is accomplish days timeline. Okay. I tried to say this on stream the other day, but I don't know if it came
Mhm.
through as clearly as I wanted it to. Accomplish days timeline has, 5, 6, 7 boxes within every minute, sometimes within 30 seconds,
Mhm.
with cross-reference documents, text messages, calls, camera footage. How and lots of people, by the way. I mean, you would agree that there is a lot of people that were peripherally around that night, contact with the victims, knew of the victims, right? That are in that timeline. And including the official story, including maybe broken plea and other references that they have in this. When does the crime happen in that? That's the most mind-blowing thing to me, is you're going to tell me that somebody has taken the time to make such a detailed timeline. Like I said, 7, 8 boxes within 30 seconds of documented cross-reference things. Even if there's a document that we have not seen, where does it fit into that of the crime occurring then? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, how would there ever be? It's jam-packed with who's where they're all at. Like, I hope that makes sense because I've tried to look at that and been, okay, well, there's a window of opportunity here. And then do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Oh, shoot. You kind of cut out. Try to turn off your Wi-Fi, maybe? Or what do you all feel in the chat? I got static, Dead Men Awake. No, it's not better. So Accomplished Day said starts around 2:24, 2:26, not 4 a.m. Right. And so that, to me, that timeline makes a lot of sense. And then there's still so much going on that it seems impossible. And it comes to the same debate. And it comes to the same debate that if it happened earlier, they've lied about that. How did nobody see anything? And if people did see something, they're keeping an entire town and now people that have moved out of that town quiet. I got you back up stage, Dead Man Awake.
Okay.
So what did you think of that about the
that's a great like thought, question, whatever. So that's why I've begun to like I've always been very much like conspiratory, but I don't myself doesn't believe it's conspiratory, right? But so when you say things like that, and I look at it and I go, well, to me, every piece of evidence that we have, right? Like let's anything we have, whether it's Banfield, the 11112, Linda Lane, the Corner Club, whatever it is, the even the phone calls, right? That whatever her name was, you were mentioning that put together that great time, Accomplished Day, right? She put it, and I want to shout out Accomplished Day. That was such a great, like she put so much effort into that, right? But at the end of the day, we have to be honest with ourselves and realize that every bit of information that we're putting together is given to us. Like
and that's just it. That's just it. Dude, I think about the different screams, bro. And my thought, it would take so long to do, but it's gotten to the point where I don't know what else from a audio video standpoint as far as surrounding the house. Although it would take a long time, I don't know what else we could do to maybe prove it. But I thought to myself, there's all these clusters of screams, right? I would be so curious. I'd be so curious if we take the clusters of the screams and we cut out everything in between the clusters of screams and we play the clusters back to back to back to back. Does it flow? And if it does, what that means is that they've taken the block of time that the crime was happening or the time period where we hear the screams and they've chopped it up and they've put one in the beginning, one in the middle of the night, one in the third quarter, and one at the end of the night.
No, I absolutely agree that's probably what did happen. But the way I look, but what I do look at is at the end of the day, okay, so just say I'm the head of this conspiracy, whatever you want to call it, right? I'm the head, right? And nothing makes sense to everybody else. And they're the ones releasing information, right? Every week now, we're getting like new data. And then there's every, crime junkie YouTube channel is dissecting it, right? Well, am I to believe they don't know what they're releasing and what they know could be inferred in these things? Like, if they can redact whatever they want, right, from the start, they can redact anything. We don't get the privilege of that. So they get to build a narrative for us to follow.
Well, that's just it. And I want to bring this up. Mary Goodnight writes, has had some good comments. And they said, no, they are separate incidents. As you know, I mean, we've talked about the escalating events, right? Or like two separate events. One escalated everything. So I'm not hating on this. I'm just trying to look at the other side of it. And I don't know how maybe it's taken this long for me to think about it. But if there's multiple events, now think about how much tougher that cover up gets. So you're going to tell me that nothing slips about a buildup event? nothing slips about the murders. Nothing slips about the cleanup. And even today, nothing comes out that points to any of those separate events. Like, yes, there's been the rumor of Fight Club, but guys, I'm talking about even the fact about the cleanup and the murders. Like, so now you add a Fight Club on top of it, or you add an escalating event of maybe an overdose or some medical emergency. How would they not just manage to just, even if you were just covering up only a murder, think of how hard that is to do.
100%.
But then to do it at three different events throughout 2 to 4 hours, that's crazy.
Right. And so that's my point, is that, like, okay, I feel like, Birdie, me and you, if we lived in the same state, we would chill. Right.
yeah,
We have this,
sure.
we have that mindset. And so I had to go back a little bit and be like, all right, so every true crime channel, right? We're dissecting the information that they're giving us, right? When they decide to give it to us. So it's like, all right, so they give us a video footage. All right, how do we know that video footage is from the night? Because the only reason why we know it is because the people we're saying are corrupt and liars are telling us that it's from that night. So
That's what JJ
they have the upper hand, right? So they're giving us the information that they're required to, quote unquote, by law. They're like, all right, yeah, give them this, give them that, give them that. And then we sit there and dissect it. But it's like, why am I to believe that you're giving me the actual footage from that night?
Well, and that was why I asked you, what do you think it is that people get most emotional about in this case? And I think, to answer it broadly, dude, it's the most basic facts. Seriously, let me ask you this. If I texted you a video, okay?
Yep.
And it was me on a jet ski, and I told you this is from last summer, but it was really last weekend, how would you ever find out?
I wouldn't. I would have no idea. I would take your word.
And now imagine every news channel has the video of Birdie on a jet ski, and they're saying, this is from last summer. Birdie rides jet ski in an American flag Speedo on the 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't actually do that, but you get my point. Like,
100%, dude. 100%. Like, I don't want to cut you off, but I look at it like with my daughters, right? I have a 6-year-old and I have a 4-year-old. They are very much, the thing they believe in probably more than anything else on this planet is Santa Claus. Because every information they've been given about him has been given from the people they trust the most.
Right.
So they look at Santa like, oh, well, I know this. I know he came here and gave us gifts. Why? Why do you know? Because my mom and dad told me so. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's how we need to start looking at that. And that's what opened my eyes with your case last night when you were talking, with Jefferson, I think his name was.
Jellison.
But Jellison, yes.
Yeah.
Because I looked at it and I'm like, yo, he's absolutely right. Like, yo, DNA can be very useful. But the same thing that can point to somebody that is guilty can point to somebody who's innocent. Like, they're in control of who gets, because as soon as Koberger was arrested, the media, it was almost like the government said, yo, this is the guy, flood the airwaves. Right? And so everybody immediately looked at Koberger as he's guilty. Before he even stood in front of a judge, he's guilty. So it's like any information we get, we have to start looking at. And like, that's what I was saying. Like, if we get footage from 1112 and like the sounds and the fighting, I'm looking at it going like, Why would they even release that to us? Like, if they're going to release something that points to a different killer, why would those cops that we're saying are corrupt, that are covering things up, why would we say once in a while they're actually honest? Once in a while they're giving us truth.
And as much as people hate to hear this, whatever many people, I am not going to say that I'm not included in this camp, because you have to pick and choose what you choose to believe for your own theory.
100%.
But it is 100% always going to be, nope, this is legit because it's part of my theory and I need it to be legit for my theory to work. But if it was somebody else's theory and they pick it apart, do you know what I'm saying? Like the way that you look at it for exactly what you just said. Why is it that we believe some stuff to be real, but then that's BS? And it's because of the emotional feeling that you probably have with your own thought process and how it plays out in your head as far as what happened.
1000%. And so the only point of my call tonight was to be like, the only thing that your channel, the Hive, can agree on, and whoever, all the other, is that there's something wrong, right?
Yeah.
We don't know what it is, whether Brian's, the perpetrator. We all think that he's not and somebody else is. All right, cool. We'll never get to that, but what we do know is that the people feeding that information, they are the ones that are wrong.
Yes.
So I think that we need to, as a collective Hive, if you will, point to them and be like, all right, well, let's figure out why, and let's try to figure out what's like really because if we solve right now, just say we figure out that Brian didn't do it and it was it was the fraternity, right? And then they go, all right, Brian's exonerated. We now convict these fraternity members. Why would we be happy about that? Because it should be like, well, timeout. Why were we even pointed in that direction?
Well, and
Like,
it seems unrealistic too, to add that on top of it. It just seems unrealistic that a bunch of Greek life kids would be getting arrested at this point in time.
100%. I agree with you. So that's why I'm saying, well, yes, there was a crime. Maybe there was a crime that happened, that these 4 young college kids were killed. And so we need to investigate, like, all right, so what we've done for 3-4 years is shown how, whether Brian did it or not, their story of how Brian would have even have done it is wrong. So it doesn't matter whether Brian did it, whether the fraternity or Arians, whoever did it, that doesn't matter. To me, maybe I'm speaking by myself, but I look at it and go, well, why would there be an entity that protected the truth? Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure, man. And that's kind of that's the thing that keeps me coming back to this case, is it's not just it is the crime, and getting the truth and justice obviously is number one, but there's so many other factors about the narrative and things that play out in our everyday life that you can learn from this case and how they're formed. And dude, I would love to talk to you more, but I'm going to let you downstage because I got
100%. 100%. Gotcha. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. You have a good weekend.
You too, bro.
Peace. All righty. We are going to have Detective Mallerie, then we'll finish with Mr. Shelly Redacted. What up? How you doing?
What up, boy?
Dude, I saw your comment, and so I'm guessing that that's what this is going to be about. You said this might, you had a comment pertaining to it might provide some perspective. Was it on some sort of evidence or a piece of evidence?
Yeah. That's fine and dandy. Anyways, I don't know if you can share. I'm about to show you something.
Oh, Jesus.
It's fine. So for everyone, maybe I used to do something that wasn't right back in the day. I'm not going to speak to that. However, this is a still functioning cellular device.
You want me to share it?
Yeah.
Okay. Holy hell, it's a flip phone.
It's a dual SIM card cell phone, and I was able to pick 2 different numbers from whatever state and area code that I wanted, and I was able to pay cash at the store, and it was not under my name. Just want to say that.
Wow.
And you can make phone calls, you can make texts, you cannot get on the internet. It has no smart stuff. It is just a plain cellular device, flip phone, basics you need.
So you had a couple of people just asking you to re-explain the dual SIM card aspect.
It means you can have 2 different numbers on there. So let's say you have, you could have a T-Mobile SIM card, and you could have a SIM card that's with AT&T. You could put them both in the phone, and you can select which one which number you want to make the outbound calls or text messages. So,
man, I mean, you think about that. When I hear that too, I know many people will use it like for a burner phone to like potentially more times than not for nefarious reasons. But when I hear that, it's kind of still like music to my ears from like a government tracking of like, good luck, you know?
Yeah. Pay the bill in cash every month, and it's not under your name.
I should probably get one of those just to have.
Yeah, my daughter looked at it one day. She goes, "What the hell is that?"
Your Gator needs his gat back or whatever he says in the
college tuition right there. So.
Dude, that's funny. But okay, so let's kind of thought exercise that out. Do you think there's a chance that burners may or may not have been used in this case?
Well, I don't know. Let me see. Like 99.9% of any smart criminal uses that. So probably.
I mean, and if so, who do you think might have been using it?
Multiple people. Everyone uses it. Who the hell talks on the real phone about shit that's going to get them in trouble? Only idiots. So
true.
Any criminal that has been arrested probably knows, for $30, $100, they can go to the store and get this type of phone turned on for $25 a month.
That's what Sleuther Dare just said too. I don't know if there's any law enforcement officials in here, but I'd be curious do CIs get provided a certain cell phone with a different number if they're contacting police on it?
But if the government's giving you that phone, they ain't giving you this flip phone. They're going to give you like an iPhone where they can track where you're at. They're not.
Right, but it could be a different number.
Of course they can.
Dude, it's just crazy that you can get that for like $30 at Walmart. Like, Don't Drink Chunky Milk just said it's so cheap.
Yeah, but don't go to Walmart. They got cameras. That's why you go to like an Indian store that's on the corner next to a vape shop. I mean, come on.
Honestly, I mean, if you're trying to stay off being on camera, yeah, maybe don't go to a Walmart. Maybe
they have more cameras than like any other surveillance in any store in America. Don't go to Walmart. Go anywhere else. I mean, go to Radio
LA. Somebody said Mexico earlier.
Yeah, you can also do that.
Dude,
you can get a Mexico phone, and then you can buy minutes from a gas station over there where you can make international calls to other international phones. So you can also do that.
Man, so that's interesting. And I'm surprised that it actually kind of took you maybe that long to, I don't know if you just recently thought of that, but I'm glad you showed us that because that's good to know.
It's just been sitting in my closet, and I was like, you know what? I haven't used this for a while, and this is the perfect example of what any person, much less, a normal white guy like me, could get at a store and not have to give any personal identifying information over it, like nothing, and pay for cash.
You pay for cash too. And dude, I think one of the things that by you showing us this, right? One of the things that I've probably said, but we hear is, are they that smart? Meaning, would these college kids be able to think of that? And they don't necessarily have to be that smart. They just need to have come into contact with somebody that already knows this information and just goes and tells them what to do.
Of course. I mean, it's pretty remedial. So I mean, I would expect any common criminal that's been arrested at least once to use this if they're doing things they don't want monitored. So I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. Most people probably haven't even seen that before because that's the generation.
No, here, let me put it back up on the screen so people can see that. I mean, that's crazy, dude. Yeah, thank you for calling in and showing that, Detective Mallerie. You've been on fire the last couple of weeks, man. I'm impressed.
Dude, I've been busy as fuck, dude. Just trying to kill it out there. Coming up with, new cool names for, the Idaho slasher guy and different, psychological diagnoses for Dylan. And so I'm just killing it with all the stuff.
I love it, man. Well,
yeah, I got a couple names though that I'm gonna have to get a vote or a poll on. We got the Midnight Meniscus Ninja.
Hang on. Let me actually do this. Okay, so this is for a new nickname, and I'm not gonna put the person's name, but we'll say new nickname for DM. And what was it?
The Midnight Meniscus Ninja.
Okay.
Did you know the meniscus around your knee? Come on.
Yep.
We got the CrossFit Crocodile. The Calisthenics Crusader.
I'm probably spelling some of these wrong. All right, you got one more option I can fill out.
We'll go with the High Knee Hitman.
Oh. All right.
That one.
The poll is live. What should Detective Mallerie's alt account name be? Midnight Meniscus Ninja, CrossFit Crocodile, Calisthenics Crusader, or the High Knee Hitman? And I will leave the vote open. You have to pick what they say, at least for one stream.
I will. I promise I will.
Dude, the most when I say like egregious, I don't mean any offense to this person who has it as their name, but every time I see the username knees to chest bish, I just
I think I'm gonna pee myself.
Like why? Like the throwing the bish on the end is just genius. It's genius. All right, I'll give it 10 more seconds for people to vote. You're already pulling away with number 4.
I don't think you need to.
Yeah. So High Knee Hitman, 88%. We'll have to see it by Monday.
Jeez.
It'll have to be in here.
Hey, by the way, the little history fun fact for everyone. The 100 Men Go Free is actually a quote from Benjamin Franklin from 1875, and it's what they refer to now as Blackstone's ratio. So,
Interesting. I did not know that.
Just a little fun fact for you.
Well, I appreciate that, Detective Mallerie. I hope you have a great night, dude.
Always, man. Always. It's such a pleasure, and I'm gonna hit you on that dual sim. So.
All right, bro. Take it easy. Bye. See ya. Detective Mallerie, I gotta say, Detective Mallerie has found the perfect balance for his call-ins. If you've been in the Hive, maybe I don't want to just continue to do a poll, but maybe like drop one of the birdie emojis if you agree that Detective Mallerie has certainly stepped his game up for the call-ins the last few weeks, which I certainly appreciate. It's a great balance. So we've had people call in and try to do kind of how he does it. He's the only one that seems to have really mastered it. All right. And our last call of the evening, we got Mr. Shelly, Redacted. What's going on, dude? How you doing?
Oh, mate.
What do you got for us this evening?
Right. I wasn't... The fuck? Ah, shit. Sorry. Hold on. I've got an app going off in my face. Right. I wasn't sure I was going to call in, but then someone mentioned something which I found fascinating because it's something I've actually had to deal with recently. So I was uploading a video for my good lady wife on her channel, and then it got stricken straight away, right? Because of copyright content. The content was just the body cam footage where they first talked to Dylan, which, as far as I'm aware, is public.
You know what happened?
Hmm.
I would bet whoever posted that video got an alert, and it was the creator.
It was not the creator. It's fucking weird, mate.
Oh wow! How were you able to tell?
It tells you who the claimant is.
Oh,
right. Let me show you.
Okay.
Share screen.
I guess I've only ever had the copyright strikes for like some of the intro stuff, or if I play a clip from like First 48 or an intro. But
right, look at that.
All right, let me get this added here.
Now, someone mentioned something about Dylan that I didn't know, and I was like, "No way."
Oh shit!
Isn't that weird?
Hang on, I'm kind of. So it says video blocked globally. The claimant doesn't allow this content to be viewed on YouTube.
Look next to the video. The claimant. It's the Mormons,
audio
man.
visual claims. Whoa! It was from the LD. It was from the LDS.
They don't own body cam footage, man.
What in God's name?
But
I've never seen anything like that.
Dylan is the only subject of that video because I've cut everything else away.
Holy hell! And somebody just had said Dylan's Mormon.
Yeah, which I didn't know. I thought this was just some weird thing, right? And obviously I disputed it, and I'm still waiting for it to come through. But then someone mentioned that she was a Mormon. I didn't know that, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Which I also have clarified. There's nothing. It's not. Whenever I said I was like Dylan's a Mormon, you could have said Dylan's a Jew, Dylan's a Muslim.
Yeah, it makes no
idea. Yeah,
it makes no odds to what her denomination is. It's just weird that denomination has decided that there could be no negative, like potentially negative comments made about her online.
Well,
which is very interesting.
So some people in the chat are asking what it is that we're showing. So pretty much, God dang it, pretty much. Does anybody else do that in their everyday life when they say pretty much now? I can't.
Yep, all the time.
Not catch myself. I probably sound like I'm stuttering. So what Mr. Shelly Redacted is showing us right here is that he posted a video of the body cam where it shows Dylan being talked to first, got a copyright claim, and it says that it's blocking the video globally. The person or the entity that had claimed the copyright for the audio visual of this body cam footage is the LDS.
That is wanker behavior. I just saw that.
That is wild. So, I mean, dude, I just I've never seen a copyright claim look like that. I just pulled it up on ChatGPT.
Like, it couldn't even get posted. It was like, before it could even get posted, it was like, nope. And then I had to try and dispute it before it can even go live. It's been shut down for a day and a half now. Because obviously, surely my wife, she's reading that book. The Already Inside book. And she's just done a chapter where it's like the transcription of that interaction. So we decided to add a link of that footage so you can see it verbatim. And yeah, didn't expect that.
But down here, it's saying that this is a content ID claim, not a copyright strike. However, I don't think that that's right because you can literally see copyright on your page. So
exactly. Let me see if I can see any more information about it.
Funny thing though, hang on. Interesting. I'll clear this up. Okay. LDS, when the claimant on YouTube, it is a very odd coincidence. Okay. And that's the type of stuff that I will geek out over, is just like, okay, what are the chances that somebody had said that about Dylan? It means Little Dot Studios, and it's a digital rights management company that YouTube uses to detect.
That is a lovely little coincidence. All right,
it's a lovely coincidence, but Little Dot Studio is the YouTube content ID used to detect, monetize, or block copyrighted television and video footage. So Where did you pull the body cam from? Because it's also claiming that this body cam was used from a certain episode.
No, I got this from a Google Drive that has all the evidence posted. I got a link from Reddit on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But, I mean, still.
But either way, the footage itself, the raw footage is owned by, well, produced by a government agency, therefore public domain. So
it still doesn't make sense why it's copyrighted. The only thing I'm thinking is that was that the FOIA, was it the actual FOIA file?
Not sure if it's part of the FOIA or if it's just released at some point. But either way, the fact that it's released by a government agency into the public makes
I
it public
totally
domain.
agree. Totally agree. That should not be copyrighted no matter who.
Yeah, I mean, I really got to, like, if we can't post it, we can't post it, whatever. I just thought the LDS thing was weird. But apparently that's a nothing burger. But there you go.
But still, I mean, dude, I can tell you that, again, it's the type of stuff that personally, I don't know, for whatever reason, that's the type of stuff that like clicks with people in the Hive of, okay, fine. Well, at least we dove into it. We can have our initial shock reaction. Okay. You know what, everybody? It's okay. Yeah. It's okay to have a little bit of fun and shock and oh my God, no way. How does it say that? Believe it or not, it's okay to like enjoy what you're doing and look into, but then to shortly thereafter confirm, okay, let's actually now go see, is this the Mormon church claiming a copyright? And it's okay for 30 seconds that we had that moment. And now we know it means Little Dot Studios. And what is the takeaway from this? We learned. Still, at the end of the day, we learned. It was just a little bit more of an enjoyable approach to doing.
Hey, man, proving what something isn't is just as valuable as proving what is.
Facts. Well, I'm glad you showed me that. You got anything else for us? You're the last caller.
Yeah, I do. So I've got another thing to show you, if that's all right. So we'll just stop that and then present again.
And while you're looking, I hope that resonated with people when I said that. Did that? Because that's something that I think we do in here that it will never change. You can't just be so just angry or you have to, at least certain personality types have to look at things in a certain way. You know, you have to enjoy it.
I mean, it's good to have fun, but you need to, like, when it comes to serious stuff, and you need to be like scientific about it and just take facts as facts and not just assume like the lack of something means it's something, you know?
Yeah. You know what? Dude, Brian Todd, this is the perfect description for some of those things. And it's a temporary bombshell. It's a temporary bombshell until we have time to rein in the wandering brain and figure it out. Well said, Brian Todd.
Like someone chucking a bomb in there, just going.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Right. So can you see the screen showing me now? It's like a photo. I can't see StreamYard anymore because it's on the same.
Yeah, you just got to zoom in a bit.
Yeah. So this again, this is from the same Google Drive with evidence in it, but these pictures, or at least some of them, aren't in any of the official batch releases.
Okay.
All right. So obviously, you know this place, the mask on the floor, key on step, all this shit that we're seeing.
Hang on. Go back to that key. Zoom in on that key.
It looks like a locker key.
Well, that looks like a car key to me too. But what is the make and model?
I can't see. I did see before when I was looking at it previously, but now it's showing really shitty. But it looks just like a locker key rather than a car key.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like it's an older car. Hang on, I'm going somewhere with this. It's an older car that might have two keys, one that's used to start and one that's used to lock. I don't know, but if Mallery's truck, that's where I started thinking of like, maybe.
I mean,
looks like a truck key.
We know it's definitely there because it's right next to a box of White Claw, and they love that shit. It's fucking everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just gonna say, what type of key is this? I screenshotted it. It says a cord, maybe.
Maybe. Just a Honda. Did anyone have a Honda?
Somebody said a safe key, a cord key. Looks like a car key, truck key. Let me.
It could just be a tailgate key if it's like off the back of a pickup.
Yeah, that's true. Let me I mean a 2006 would have had a digital key, or not a digital key. You know what I'm saying? Here, I got it. Let me share my screen quickly. I took a screenshot and I flipped it so I can blow it up. And it's blurry as hell, but maybe I can. I'm still waiting on a Canva sponsorship. Canva, if anybody's connected to them. It made it. No, that made it look like shit. Let's see what this says.
What is this? This is a lovely program. I want this.
Yeah, it's Canva. It's Canva. It's amazing.
Huh?
You ever heard of it?
No. Well,
Dude,
I think I
you
might
gotta
have been
get it.
passing, but yeah, like I've just got. I can't say what I just got because it was. I didn't
It's
pay for
free.
it. But, like,
Canva's
yeah.
free unless you want all the bells and whistles. Just go to canva.com.
All right.
Okay, it says I cannot. It looks like an older style. It says it could also be for a motorcycle, ATV, or similar vehicle. I mean, hey, we did see a dirt bike in storage. Just leave it.
Yeah, my motorbike key looks the same as that because it's old. So that's a good point. I never thought of that.
I got yours back on screen now.
All right. So yeah. So obviously this is just like a little side tangent. But in this batch, which isn't a part of an official batch, like I say, so it's obviously still part of the same crime scene. Where is this generator?
This generator, where it's by the, isn't it? So, that generator. Can you zoom in on that a little bit more?
Well, actually,
what the hell?
I know. Where the fuck is this generator? Right?
Hang on. What?
Yeah, the pictures around it. There's blood on this step, and these steps are leading up to.
That's.
Oh yeah.
Go back to that generator.
Woman's underwear in the bush nearby as well.
What the hell? I've never noticed that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Right. And like, so obviously I went through an AI and I was like, what do you make of this? And it was like, because of the way it is and the lack of like dust and cobwebs and shit all over it, that's recent that they were put in there. And these photos are obviously taken around the same time as the crime scene photos, which is very soon next to the crime. So this, like the AI I was using was saying that it's like a matter of days at best, if not hours.
And that photo is not AI. That's the image. I see it right there. The JPEG.
Yeah, if you go to, like, yeah, if you zoom out, like if you go back to the other picture, you can see kind of that it's there. And then this is like they've obviously crouched down and took a closer picture.
Dude, go back to that other one. Did you post these in the Discord, dude?
No.
Can you or Shelly please do that?
Yeah. I am in there, but I'm caught something else. But I'll get. I almost said her real name. I'll get her to.
Yeah, dude. Zoom in on the real, or not the real. Sorry, zoom in on the handle or the knob.
Oh, the knob.
Like towards the top. Yeah, if you could zoom in any
you know
further.
What? Do you know what key might fit that?
That's what I was just gonna say. Like maybe, I don't know. I mean, I think the other one's a car key, but
maybe.
Can you kind of?
Oh, wait. Could it have said generic on that key?
Oh, dude, I don't know. Let me.
That'd be bloody weird, wouldn't it? Because that key was like at the house. I swear. Let's have a look.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do something here. I mean,
oh no, it's definitely an A at the beginning by the look of it.
You know, you guys know that I have always said that
temporary bomb.
Hey, it's super. Yes, temporary bomb, super grok.
This ain't your mama's grok. This is super grok.
Super grok. I'm telling you, if you're gonna pay for an AI, pay for super grok. In my opinion, I feel like it's the best.
Mate, if you can get it online, I ain't paying for it.
Well, that's true, but there's some extra benefits that you get for the super grok. But I also use like ChatGPT too. Oh yeah, well that's loading. I'm going to. Somebody said, "Bring out the filters, Birdie." Again, let me just show off how incredible Canva is.
I've never actually seen you use it, so it's really interesting.
Why is there? What's that thing on there?
Oh, it clarified for like a second. Then, as you put your cursor into a certain point. Oh,
it does kind of clarify a little bit. Somebody's getting motion sickness. Hey, if I ever come to the UK, I gotta hang out with you guys, me and Mrs. Birdie.
Yeah, man, that'd be funny. We're well boring though. We don't drink or anything anymore.
Well, Mrs. Birdie will probably be pregnant, so.
Oh yeah.
You know, I haven't drank in a very long time. When I stopped the vaping and all that, I'm like, I'm just gonna go for all of it.
I mean, I tried the pouches, the nicotine pouches, and I'm
Okay,
still on
that's
vaping.
crazy. It says Nissan.
Oh. No, that's got to be that's obviously an assumption, right? It's got to be.
It says unchanged. Are you sure?
Grok, I don't think you're being very super, mate.
So it's saying the central circular Nissan. It's
oh
well,
yeah,
actually, let's just look it up. A Nissan key.
I mean, can you ask it like suggested models of car that might belong to, so we can look at that specific model of key and see if it has a similar design, rather than instead of not just the logo, but how it's actually constructed.
This is reminding me of like the old days of the Hive on TikTok. We just start searching around for anything.
Oh, mate, you don't know like how much time I spend.
Custody Queen Kristen's comment.
My wife just said, look at Custody Queen Kristen's comment. I'm guessing she said something that's interesting.
Where is it? I don't see it.
How
Kristen, can you retype it?
Oh, there you go. UFOs just said it.
UFOs just said it, apparently.
Everything. Hang on.
Man, we're old men. We can't keep up with this.
I can't even see what I'm looking at here. Hang on. You guys got to understand, too, I'm only looking really at what you guys see in the bottom right of the screen. So I go quick. It slides into the fob?
Oh, so like the fob would be like a cover, essentially. So that shape at the top, the black bit, might not be how it would actually look.
Well, and Grok is saying it's 100%.
I think Grok's buoying you off, man.
I do, too. What the hell am I paying for here? What if I just gave it let me...
What? Just say to it, why are you lying, dickhead?
Yeah. Why don't I just give it this one? Hang on. Let's just see this. I'll try it one more time. But now I'm kind of curious, you know.
Oh, while you're doing this, I'll quickly touch on something else I was going to mention. There was a chap, Brandon, was it, in the comments that said he was talking about the Australian accent. It's like, he was saying like he likes the British accent because there's a few Brits on tonight. Like, how come we didn't keep the British accent? And I can tell you why. It's because when you took all our criminals over there and they weren't used to like a southern hemisphere and it being so hot, like it just slowed them down. And obviously most of them came from like central London, so it was like a Cockney accent. And so as it slowed down, it became instead of more like "how's your father" to more like you know, I can't fucking do it now because I'm too fucking tired. But yeah, it turned into like an Australian accent where it's a bit more slovenly, if you excuse the offensiveness. Yeah, you fucking drongo, get the fuck away from me.
That's hilarious. I mean, I didn't know that. I think it's funny. You're like, when you took all the criminals over here, which side note, not to totally change the subject, but we use what Troy said about the temporary bomb shells, right? Well, the UFO dog just sent me something, and I saw Gramilla was also on there. So I don't know if many people have been picking up on this, but I haven't been seeing the chat. Here is one from the Google Drive. Oh, let me take yours down. Sorry. Here we go. So Gramilla, thank you for posting this. And this says Access Plus, and this is the actual photo from the drive.
Access Plus. So that, I mean, that could be anything, but it does sound something like industrial, perhaps, or like a storage locker, I guess.
Say thank you, Camilla.
Thank you, Camilla, from my good lady wife.
You could buy them at Home Depot.
Oh, so it could be anything, just cut to whatever.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a key that you cut to whatever.
Okay.
Well, now we know. Once again, we're learning things. We know what LDS is, and we know.
But we also don't know what that is.
Well, that's true, but we know it's not a Nissan key.
But yeah, I mean these. Anyway, these photos are interesting anyway because like obviously you've got the weird generator full of clothes, and then you've got
That's so
steps near
weird.
it with drips of blood near wherever this generator happens to be. And I found the place it's near. Like there's a big sort of amphitheater looking thing, a stone amphitheater. Oh yeah, and some random woman's underwear in the bush. And yeah, I did look up all these code numbers to work out what it was. I'm an idiot. So yeah, bloody blood on the rocks, a glove, and then it goes back to this, and all that.
Whoa.
Yeah, this.
What is that photo for?
The bloody one. That's part of it. That's
no, this one right here. What is this for? I've never seen this.
So this is nearby, like really nearby, between there and the university, which is actually a hell of a lot closer than I realized.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called now though. It's like dude, it's 4 o'clock in the morning there, 4:30. I can't remember.
Holy hell!
But I did work it out a little while ago and find it on a map. So it does exist. It is very nearby. It's right off campus. So I'm guessing that generator must be either on campus or very nearby. Yeah.
Well, dude, I mean, fantastic call to end the evening, man. It's 4 o'clock in the morning there. We've been going for 3.5. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a fantastic night, my guy.
Yeah, you too, man. I did have another big rant for you, but I'll save that for next time.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds good, dude. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night and a weekend. And I'm going to go ahead and put you backstage. Cheers, man.
Cheers, man. Everyone's a wanker.
Everybody. Oh, guys, thank you so much for everybody that did call in. The Shelly or Mr. Shelly, please post that Google Drive in the Discord. I'm sure somebody may have already at this point. I love these Friday nights. That's why I have no problem sitting here for 3+ hours, hearing you guys out. You guys sit and listen to me bark into the mic for a couple hours every night. So I have the utmost enjoyment and satisfaction hearing what you guys think throughout this case and some of the streams that we've touched on. Don't forget, Hive, do not forget that tomorrow night there will be a Hive Plus War Room. And then also, if you didn't have a chance to watch the Fox Hollow interviews, or if you haven't seen that series and you need something to watch, go on to Hulu. It's great. That's a case that I have been following. I've talked about in the past. Definitely a rabbit hole for anybody that needs like a rabbit hole case to maybe give yourself a mental break from the Idaho 4 case. Jeff Jellison was the coroner and was on the stream last night. I'll have that quick cut up tomorrow. So if you don't want to watch the full interview, it'll be about a 25-minute recap. With that, please hit like, please hit subscribe. If you'd like to be in the chat tomorrow for the Hive Plus War Room, please go ahead and drop that link, mods, maybe one more time. Hottie JG, thank you for the super chat. Said, look at the mail with documents I just sent. I did see the email notification pop in, so I will do that and appreciate your call, Hottie JG. Angel Heart, you rock as always. Just you get a membership. You get a membership. You get a membership. The one that fits. Welcome to Hive Plus. Okie dokie. Lisa said, bark first to let us know you need on the roof. Roof. I cannot believe I just actually did that. Angel Heart, Jesus, said, this was done all over that area, in trucks, in apartments, in houses, and outside. We have stared straight at the house across from the camera. We see flashes, people running up and downstairs. They blurred out lots of kids running around the house. That's not the first time that I've heard that. And it's also, it's completely plausible in my opinion. If they wanted to take somebody off of the camera or Photoshop somebody in or out of a video, you can do so. And Angel Heart, thank you so much for the big super chat, for the 5 gifted memberships. And also just a fantastic reminder that if they don't want you to see somebody on camera, you're not going to. And I'm glad that a lot of people, if not everybody in this chat, can wrap their head around that. And given all of the other things that we've seen in this case, I would not put it past them to do so. Accomplished day. Goat for the timeline and the super chat said, Birdie, my theory slides are in Discord. Sorry for the delay. My son's playing soccer in the Gothia Cup in Sweden this week. Holy hell. So we've been staying up late to watch the live stream games. So I was MIA for a day or two. Well, that's quite the reason to miss it. Good luck to your son and their team. Hopefully they're winning. Never heard of the Gothia Cup in Sweden, but that's big time. That's great. I will check out your theory slides. Maybe that will be something we can do tomorrow for part of the live dig in the Hive Plus War Room. Thank you again, Accomplished Day. Cat K, welcome to Hive Plus. Goodrin from Iceland said, yay, 1 month old member. BK, DM, BF are coerced and know each other. You clearly see that act. Plea deal day. Please, frats are in on this. Love from Iceland. Well, the kids certainly know more than they're putting out there. I don't think there's anybody that would say, whether you think frats are involved or not. I mean, I don't know of anybody that would deny that they don't know more than what they're acting like they do in these interviews. It'd be weirder if they didn't know anything. Certainly the interviews that are a month after. I mean, are we to really think these people aren't talking about it? And Corey Boyce, I don't know if I showed this one, but it was relevant back when we had the EMS person talking, saying EMS is always dispatched and responds to the scene, even if a victim is believed to be dead. As lay people cannot officially pronounce death, so that doesn't mean this is just out of the ordinary. Well, that's true. I mean, I'm telling you that when Izzy Pop said that about the cop showing up and the ambulance not for an unconscious person, I don't know how. Like, that's another one of those things that we just kind of are like, oh, well, it makes sense maybe sometimes, but it is so unusual. And there's so much stuff that's so unusual that I think it has to have way more weight than we've been giving it. Les, thank you for being a member for 3+ months now. Appreciate you. It's me, Gary, said, turned on the bass, said, this guy sounds like VVVVVVVV in the grub truck. 26 dead zombies, dude. Said this case parallels Delphi in cartels running drugs and CSAM. Why am I blanking on that acronym? Trafficking using biker gangs and white nationalists and Odinist prison staff and gangs. It's all connected. I'm working on getting Scott Payne back in the Hive because I know the last time he was on, he was talking about his book. I would like to just talk to him about this Odinism stuff. If you're in the chat live, type a 1 if that would sound interesting to maybe hear about that. How do you maybe little cliques or gangs within a larger organization such as the biker gang he was undercover in, and he's talking about sacrificing goats in some of these white nationalist groups he was undercover in. I'd be very curious to hear what it is that he thinks about it. And I believe Joshua Scott Griffin, what up, Birdie and Peeps? And Lucid Dreaming and Shock Phase, going back to Jack Showalter saying it was wild how he kept saying, wow, dude, you guys are really on your shit tonight. And he had a knife in his back pocket. He did keep repeating that. Now, I don't know if that's drunk behavior, but it was such a cringe thing to say. Definitely like the drunk repetitive comment. And then that was stupid. And you guys are really on your shit tonight. And that was stupid. Can I have cuffs in the front? BD's right there. You know what I'm saying? So I agree. Lucid Dreaming and Shockface did not do him any favors. All right, everybody. I will be back on tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central. Take it easy. It's Psycho Fool. Pineapple Diana, thank you so much. High knees, titties. You're welcome. Pineapple Diana. There you go. There's some high knees. If anybody's watching this for the first time and they just heard that and then pull out my stress bags, I can only imagine what they think. Take it easy. Angel Heart, sleep good. Splendid. Melancholy. Crafty Creation said CSAM is child. Oh, actual material. Thank you for being careful in the chat with spelling that. Yes, I did not. I blanked on that. Tara B, high knees, titties. I don't know why that just caught my eye. Brian Todd, temporary bombshells needs to be your username. That is, I love that saying. Temporary bombshells are kind of needed, I think, at this point so that we don't go crazy. Detective Mallerie said, only get one shot, so don't miss a chance. Cause an opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Rochelle, UFO Dog, thank you to the mods. UFO Dog, formerly known as Beck, Discord Dawn, and the Luna Bliss. Accomplished Day, you rock. Crime Rat, thank you so much. We got Tara B, Don't Drink Chunky Milk, Trilly Fly, Sleuther Dare, See You in the War Room, and Sabrina. Take it easy. Good night, everybody. Cheers.